They don't. They really, it's a good thing. Like some of the stuff don't be running when we go.
I'm
Yeah.
telling you, bro. Yeah.
All, my like if we had a TV show, and this was a TV show because you know they'd be sometimes filming behind the
Oh,
scenes. If they film some of our outtakes and shit,
that should be
this
hilarious. We'd probably be like, yo, you got to pay us for that. That's the
yeah.
part they probably have to pay us for. This I don't ask for no bread for, but probably the off shit, the off camera shit, that you probably have to pay for.
Because that's some dangerous shit sometimes we
They
be
have
talking
to
about.
like put a premium on that or some shit.
All right, I'm gonna give everybody a little bit of time to get in here. For those who don't know, while my boy is looking so extra tropical today, Chris was out at the plot at La Playa.
Yo,
La
I just got
Playa. I
home.
can't even
I
talk
just
right
got
now.
home. I just got home from the beach. You hear that? They use the sample.
hmm Let me make sure to retweet this. Let me retweet this shit out. Help with the algorithm just a little bit.
Yeah, I just got home. We was grilling. We cooked on the beach, sat down, do what we did, and had a good time. This other group near us, they almost got into a fight. Oh, Miguel
Shit.
H, I know you know that shit. Yeah, this other group there, they almost got into a fight, so that was the entertainment. We was watching them. So, alcohol, it does, that shit, it does things to you,
Oh man, if you guys could see the stuff I be seeing, I be hearing all the time. And then what did I do today? Honestly, I didn't do nothing but get these streams set up. I got a panel tomorrow and put this out there and plug that now. Um, I will have back returning guests, friends, colleagues, Dr. Guguletu Hughes out of South Africa. Um, I'll have Malik Decore, um, and we'll have Alphabet, both of them out of the UK. Malik representing West Africa, um, and Alphabet representing East Africa, Somalia. And if you guys don't know about the stuff that's going on in Somalia right now, make sure you tune in tomorrow and get that. For me, for the people on the West Coast, that'll be 8:30 a.m. For those who let's try to do 8:30 a.m. East Coast Mountain Time, 9:30 Central, 10:30, and East Coast 11:30. And in Great Britain time, that'll be 4:30 p.m. South African time, 5:30 p.m. So I think I got most of the people who watch covered. If you're in another time zone, sorry for you. But I don't.
Oh,
You guys,
Marcus, I did want to touch on something very, very important. Like,
sure.
the your boy, your brother, your guy, the guy you really like and
Oh
admire.
Lord, who are you about to say now?
Your boy Drake put out an album yesterday.
I've been hearing about Drake's album. The fact that I literally saw Hebrew Israelites doing a review on Drake's album, that makes me wonder.
So, I'm not a fan of his. Right? He probably has about 8 to 10 songs over his whole career, which has been long, right? That I really like, right?
Mm-hmm.
That's not saying much considering how much music you've produced over the past decade and some change. Boom. With that being said, I listened to the album probably like 3 or 4 times now. I'm not a glutton for punishment, or maybe I am. I mean,
maybe you are.
Anyway, yeah, maybe I am. But anyway, I listened to it. It's a house album. The beats work by themselves. Anything that he said there's nothing memorable or like dope or fire. There's no replay value to it. So that's my review of that album. He named the album Honestly Nevermind. And if if people say, should you listen to it? Honestly, never mind. Like, I'm not a rapper. That was a bar. I'm gonna give myself a pat on the back for that one. But yeah, you can just like ignore his album.
Oh shit! I guess I thought that one went live, man. It's just going live, and I need to put this one live. Oh lordy jeez, all the shit's backed up.
What happened, man?
Oh my shit's is backed up. Hold on. I guess I thought that the one with Glory Jones went live. Apparently it did.
Misha, you're not old, Misha.
Actually, Misha's a little older than we are.
No, he's not.
Yes, he is.
Wow.
Yeah,
I told you I don't count. I took a year off since they decided to shut the world down with COVID. I took a year off too. So I tell everybody I'm a year behind, but I actually am. Fuck that. We're gonna play that game too.
All right, yeah. I'm just trying to get this one last thing set and running. I'm not the greatest at rock fan at all. I'm still working on it. But all right.
Me too, Bulla. Me and Bulla are probably the youngest people here. We're not even old enough to buy alcohol.
It's like I literally got to do this at the same time.
Yeah, I'm on the sabbatical. I am. A long one, a forever one.
All right, hi chat, and let's see, go live. Come on, give me my live.
He said he's
there.
joking.
We go. All right, now I think it's going live. All right, cool. I think it's going live. I gave it a little bit of time. So let's just go ahead and start with the intro.
Yipper stupid. You say you're not old enough to see PG movies.
Still sitting in that G section, huh?
No, right? For real.
All right, let's get it going.
You were here because you have a question. Really get down to understanding this political matrix.
Out there, the stunt double. He walked out. He's got an oximeter on his back. I'm like, you gotta keep other. Marcus said on his other show. He was like, American politics is simply pro wrestling.
He became afraid of everyone because people were reporting on each other.
We're living out Minority Report too as well. And you know why? You know why we know that, boss? Because we've been reporting on it. Yeah, I know.
All the black people in this country be willing to take a reservation.
That's what the Nation of Islam was asking for.
To put a couple of clips together.
It's crazy to see how much Martin Luther King really began to look like, damn, man, Malcolm was fucking right.
I mean, what is the elite's end game?
There's this assumption that as a black commentator or black journalist that you're not informed.
Relationships. That's a skill we have to learn.
It's even more kind of mind-blowing because we're supposed to be the multicultural space.
Trying to drum up money to keep the war machine going so they can keep the donors happy.
Yeah. Do the Chinese own part of that?
Began a long time ago. Ukraine has had a neo-Nazi problem for decades.
Proof of sanction, am I right?
I don't know if Dom Copters will do it, but something's got to be able to save the world.
From the private industry here.
Like I say, people come on here, they can say stuff they don't normally say on their own shows, which is fine.
Oh, it's McDonald's. Whoop-de-doo. And their cholesterol is going to go down. Yeah.
Look, we only exist because we have the biggest military, kid.
In silencing a person like Julian Assange. Because it affects everybody. And today, last week, believe you me, because they know who you are. They watch. They got people that's going out there. They don't want you guys having the conversations that you're having on this show. Mm-hmm. So it affects the political matrix today.
And hello, this is the Political Matrix. I am your host, Young Morpheus.
Stop, Kelly.
With my boy, Cy Lawson. What's up, brother?
Ain't not much. You already know, just chilling. You know what's ironic? I mean, I'll just share a personal story real quick. I want
Yeah, go ahead.
You know, what's ironic about that picture of me holding the gun is that probably like 3 weeks ago, I was working on a car with my homeboy. And this guy comes up to us. There's 3 of us working on my car. We're just about done with it. So this guy comes up to us and says, "You said something to my wife?" Me and my 3 homeboys look up like, "What are you talking about?" I have no idea what he's talking about. So my friend who's on the floor underneath the car, he gets up, he approaches the guy, and his older son, looked to be about 19 or 20, was there too. So they pushed my homie, to be honest. They pushed my homie, right? So my homie gave him a right hook and sent the son to his bed. He literally just dropped. I'm yelling, "Chill, stop." The entire time I'm yelling, "Yo, chill, stop, stop." The father pulls out a gun. He points the gun at me and my homeboy just like that. He pulled the fucking trigger, Marcus. That shit said click. I said instantly. I was like, I'm about to get a shot. I ain't do shit.
I ain't telling nobody none of my stories. I can't tell them none of those kind of stories.
Yo, we weren't in a bad neighborhood. We weren't doing anything wrong. I don't know what this guy's wife went inside and told her husband. To this day, I still don't know. But it's ironic that the guy's holding the gun. He started chasing my homeboy with the gun. And of course, everybody started scattering like roaches. You got a gun and, you know, I'm unarmed. After he pulled that trigger, it was just like, oh shit, like I was stuck. So anyway, yo, homeboy still don't end up getting arrested.
Yeah, I can't tell y'all none of my stories. I'm sorry.
Yeah,
I'm sorry.
that shit was, that was like 3 weeks ago. I mean, I was just like, yo, I really could have just been gone. And it would have been like, yo, well, what were you doing? You know, what? I went to go work on, I got out of work. I went to go work on my car. We were putting it back together. We were done. And this guy comes up and does this. So, yo, that shit is just, you know, hey, I'm here.
Ooh, thank God you are here.
People are crazy, dogs. I'm telling you, I don't know what. I look, when the police came and they was talking to everybody and all this shit like that, and they was like, yo, did he pull the trigger? The other guy was in the military. He was like, I could hear it. He pulled the trigger. His gun jammed, you know? And it's like, yo, even the police, there was three black dudes, right? Even the police were like, oh, you guys weren't doing anything wrong. It was a little like 5'6" Cuban guy. You know, now in retrospect, I'm the one yelling, chill, chill, chill. Like we had crowbars, wrenches, and all that other shit. Probably should just gave him the business, then he would have been happy, you know?
Yeah, and then your life could have been gone another way. So
you damned if you do, damned if you don't. But clearly I ain't do shit, so I'm here.
You see what I'm saying? That's why you gotta, I don't know. When it's those situations where it's an unwinnable situation, I don't know what advice to give people there.
Yeah, Streets, mine did. I'm telling you, Streets, whenever I heard it, I said, I just like that, just a minor flinch, because I was just like, yo, honestly, my parents gonna be like, yo, he was doing something he wasn't supposed to be doing. I'm 40 years old. What the hell I'm still thinking about my parents?
Let's see.
You know what I'm saying?
Kelly asked, Marcus, do you know the origins of the matrix green numbers in the background?
Kelly, you gonna tell us, bro?
From what I understand, it goes back to the original PC computers. They started off with green being the first color, that basic green and the kind of grayish background. And so that's just a nod to the old school technology, as far as I know. But if you want to go into psychological, possible psychological implications, green and in certain philosophies can be envy, it can be greed, and oddly enough, it can be horniness. So that's just some of the symbolism. That's what, you know, symbolism crap, which I learned in college. Take it, if you will, how much you believe in it. John
Marcus,
says,
what you doing for Juneteenth?
What am I doing for Juneteenth? Talking about it. That's about it. I'm not paying that. See, honestly, and here's the thing. So I guess we're going ahead and start off with Juneteenth then. I can't really take it serious anymore now, because the moment that they turned it into a token holiday, they took all of the sting out of it. I mean, my family honestly celebrated Juneteenth, and I grew up in Kansas City where we celebrated Juneteenth. Well, the Black people celebrated Juneteenth for many years. And so it's always been something. For those who are familiar with Kansas City, if you don't know what I'm talking about, back in the days, if you go out to Swole Park around this time, you know why. That's why all them damn Black people were out there, because we were celebrating Juneteenth.
Marcus, look, my boss at work, she called me. She said, "Are you working on Monday?" She called me, right? I was on the phone. I was like, "I'm Black." Yo, she just started laughing. Like, like I don't normally talk to them like that, but I was just messing with her. She started laughing. I'm like, that holiday's been celebrated for so long in Texas and Oklahoma, and maybe in the middle of the country. I'm from New York. That's not something that really, it's not something we really celebrated or heard about in New York growing up. So with that being said, the fact that the federal government is now involved, for me, it kind of cheapens it. It kind of puts everybody onto something that was, relevant to a very specific set of people, So it's kind of like they make it cheap for the people who that actually applies to.
Speaking of making it cheap, I got a clip for y'all. We're gonna start out early with a clip. Got a clip for y'all. Let's see. Okay. You guys see that? Here, let's slide on in there with it. But yeah, let's make this big. We can watch this. This is very rare. You're gonna see me bring up anything from like freaking NBC.
Oh, Marcus, I see where we're going. Oh,
let's back this on up. Let's back it up to the beginning.
Juneteenth is coming up this weekend, and a year after it has become an official federal holiday, some companies are now selling Juneteenth branded products. Look at this example on your screen. A tweet from May from this year, Dollar Tree, selling their Juneteenth paper plates and party supplies. But because this holiday commemorates the emancipation of slaves in the U.S., you got some folks that are really not happy with what they see as commercialization of it, getting online to share their concerns. Shaq Brewster has the story.
After George Floyd's death in 2020 and in the wake of nationwide protests that followed, last year, President Biden signed a bill that officially recognized Juneteenth as a federal holiday, a date that's been celebrated for centuries. After President Lincoln signed the Emancipation Proclamation in 1863, word of their new freedom finally reached the last group of enslaved African Americans in Texas on June 19, 1865.
Juneteenth is about commemorating emancipation, which means commemorating the history of slavery.
Like many other national holidays, from Memorial Day to President's Day, some companies have begun commercializing it. Walmart recently apologized for selling a special edition Juneteenth ice cream with a label that read, "Share and celebrate African American culture, emancipation, and enduring hope." The new product received backlash on social media, and the retail giant issued a public apology and removed the ice cream from their shelves.
I think if more companies had more people in decision-making positions who could help inform those conversations, they would think of more nuanced and I would just say better ways of recognizing the holiday.
When the Children's Museum of Indianapolis started offering a Juneteenth watermelon salad, people took to Facebook to call out the museum for the insensitive stereotype.
If you must profit as a company, to do so in a way that is not offensive, that does not perpetuate stereotypes, and that really is thoughtful.
You said a watermelon what?
Snapchat released a special Juneteenth filter.
Watermelon ice cream.
Smile to, quote, break the digital chains.
Yeah,
A
let
few
me stop
hours
it real
later,
quick.
they pulled it and apologized for the
Yo, do you know how
insensitivity.
many
We
jokes?
reached out to these.
Yeah, let's back that up again. You want to?
Yo, do you know how many jokes is coming from this right now? Like, yo,
Yeah.
son,
Yeah.
this is
Here,
material.
I'll play it one more time so you can hear what he just said.
Yeah, this is material. Let's
took
go
to
back.
Facebook to call out the museum for the insensitive
Go back a little bit
stereotype.
more.
If you must profit as a company
On social
right there, right
media,
there.
and the retail giant issued a public apology and removed the ice cream from their shelves.
I think if more companies had more people in decision-making positions who could help inform those conversations, they would think of more nuanced and I would just say better ways of recognizing the holiday.
When the Children's Museum of Indianapolis started offering a Juneteenth watermelon salad, people took to Facebook to call out.
Woo! Woo! Your thoughts on that watermelon salad?
Son, they will find every which way to insult you. Every which way. We're not going to offer this to you on any day except for the day that's supposed to be for you niggas.
They might as well just say,
You
"Hey,
want
we
some
got
watermelon?
nigger salads." I mean, at this point, it's I mean, wow.
Yo, you can't be mad at it. You really can't. Why are you upset over it? I don't, not you clearly.
And then John, yes, this is the next part which they said. I need to make sure to stay on this one so I can stop it, and make sure to let me know when to stop it.
About the museum for the insensitive stereotype.
If you must profit as a company to do so in a way that is not offensive, that does not perpetuate stereotypes, and that really is thoughtful.
Back in 2020,
looks
Snapchat
soft.
released a special
Sorry.
Juneteenth filter, prompting users to smile to, quote, break the digital chains. A few hours later, they pulled it and apologized for the insensitivity. We reached out to these companies for comment. The Children's Museum of Indianapolis responded, sharing a statement saying, in part, "We are an imperfect institution, but we are committed to improvement." Walmart did not immediately respond to our request for comment, and Snapchat responded, pointing us to an earlier statement they released regarding this incident, saying in part, "We deeply apologize to the members of the Snapchat community who found this lens offensive." Why are companies upsetting so many people with these products?
I think that companies should be in consultation with
No,
members of
he's
the Black
soft.
community before making these.
Dude, here's the thing.
He's really soft. Don't get it twisted because he got nice hair. He's really soft.
But the thing about it is, in order for you to be a black man in any of these things and to be on TV on a regular, you got to be soft or you got to be a goofball. Because that's
So
the
just listen
only
to him.
only way they will deal with us. They're not dealing with a masculine black man.
So he's like, I know it was offensive, but you need to get over it, and you need to still support the company, and you need to buy what they do, and they need to be a little more sensitive in their programming. I hope that they can put more African American people in positions of decision-making positions, so that that we don't see this again. That's it.
Yipper says, "What's next? Fried chicken Sundays."
That's what I'm saying. That's it. Guys, let it play, son. Let it play. Watch him say that same bullshit.
See, here's the thing, and here's the thing.
He got
streets. I'll go with. I'll go into my thoughts after it, but because my thoughts, it'll just. I'll go into it later. I mean, hold on. Let's get back into it.
Let him go. Sorry.
These decisions so that they are making good business decisions that are informed by the communities that they are seeking to serve.
Shaq is joining us now. And I'm so glad you did this story for us, Shaq, tonight, because I think it's interesting, especially in light of the weekend that's upon us here. It feels like in the piece.
No, we don't look
point was made
alike,
in your
so don't
piece
start
here,
saying that shit.
It's commercialization, and it's companies, perhaps it seems, not understanding the nuance here, right? And not having a full understanding of what this is about.
Yeah, the concern
So,
that you hear, Hallie, is that they're taking it too lightly, that they're simply acknowledging Juneteenth as a way to simply make some more money. And, it's not every company, I should mention. There's a tweet that I saw from Ben & Jerry's from 2019 honoring Juneteenth, saying it's the true Independence Day. Ben & Jerry's is a company that has also put its money where its mouth is. They've funded a lot of social justice movement initiatives across the country. That was a tweet that happened before this was an official holiday. That was before the murder of George Floyd. So this is not an accusation against every company. It's just simply folks saying, if you're going to acknowledge Juneteenth, take it seriously. And by the way, Hallie, this is a similar sentiment that you hear from members of the military community around Memorial Day. You hear it from members of the LGBTQ community during this Pride Month. It's a familiar sentiment.
What you mentioned in Pride Month though? What they got to do with it?
Because technically, he said that they're not taking it serious, kind of like people in the Pride community feel like they're not being taken serious. Also, in Ostrich says right, it is Pride Month.
No, it's the summertime. We got 3 days until the summer starts.
No. It's already been Pride Month.
It's summertime. Nah, fuck that. It's summertime. That's it. I don't recognize that shit.
Hey,
what Jay said, the only Christopher we acknowledge is Wallace. Like that's it. June is summertime. June is you get out of school and it's summertime. That's it.
See, here's the thing. Why are we surprised about any of this shit? Think about how it even became an official holiday. Let's go back and connect that for a minute. I don't know. I'm making hopefully that I'm still in. I know that for some reason my signal's been going in and out a lot lately. But just want to make sure. Actually, let me double check over. Make sure we still
hold on.
What was that? Well, go ahead. Oh, I'm sorry, I haven't checked the rock.
No, read what's on the screen. He said he probably using the new Suave reparation shampoo for curls. Let those freedoms hold.
Yipper's a fool. I already know that. But
I'm gonna stop playing around. I'm gonna stop being silly.
Let me read this off. Let me read this off. I see INN is in the building watching us over on Rockfin. Much appreciated. And for those who haven't gotten the news yet, we are on Rockfin. So if you prefer to watch it over on Rockfin, we will be monitoring your chats over there also. Yeah, that's crazy. Ruby also says, what do you guys think about Morgan Freeman said, what Morgan Freeman said when he said he doesn't want his history delegated to 1 month. He said there's not a Jewish month. Ooh, that's a strong statement. Well, what I would say is the reason why there's not a Jewish month is because we get to hear about Jewish atrocities and everything that has afflicted the Jewish community throughout the whole year. We get to hear about it all the time. And then we get to hear a portion of our history. We get to hear just about when we were getting our backs beat. That's it. We don't get to hear about where we came from before that. We don't get to learn about our history before that. We don't get to learn about most of our contributions before that. We get to learn about, well, Martin Luther King held hands and was like, I want to hang out with white people, basically. We get to learn that history.
But the main part is that he had a dream.
Yeah, a dream that he can hang out with white people and hope to feel
nothing
equal.
And nothing after that. Nothing about,
his
last. If we really, I understand there's valid criticism of King to be made, but the last speech he had, the year to the day before he died in Harlem, he actually said some real shit. No wonder he had to die. It's funny, we talk about Assange. They didn't kill him. They left him alive, though. They really only kill the people who are the real threats. And I suppose that Assange represents a threat, too, but they're just handling it in a different way.
In this modern day, I put it this way. If Assange was black,
Oh man, look, we don't even have to do that. Think about it, guess, or spend any time.
I'm not so sure Assange ass would still be around.
Hey, I'm gonna go grab
honestly.
I'm gonna go grab some water. I'll be right back.
Okay, going ahead. I'll get into my little diatribe because I got a little bit that I want to say. As far as Juneteenth, I literally don't even celebrate it anymore because I realize that there hasn't actually been a true freedom. You know, there were still years after where the horrible treatment continued on. You had the rise of the KKK, and well, I don't want to say the rise. You had the reincarnation and its resurgence in the early 1900s and 1920s, around the same time my grandparents were being born. Then you had, you know, the Black Wall Streets and all of the other mass atrocities that happened across this country. And then you still had the 13th Amendment, which they made up plenty of laws to make, you know, so that they could go after the Black community. And so we're going to talk about Juneteenth as if we're free. How free are we? We still have redlining. We still wait through all of the crap. And then for them to say, you know what? Because this Black man got killed in a very fucking, you know, bullshit way on camera and the whole world is an outcry. How we're going to try to make amends to that is we're going to make a holiday that you guys have been celebrating already on your own, an official holiday. All you did was make it so that a bunch of other people could get off of work too for a holiday that's supposed to be given to Black people. When I notice in the system is I notice so many people, if they want to do anything for Black people, it always has to be something that's done for everybody across the board. If Asian people are getting attacked, they get money together for a bill or money to try to stop Asian hate crimes. If there's something where they feel is anti-Semitism, they get money together for the Jewish community in particular to help the Jewish community. If there's something for the LGBTQ, they worry about LGBTQ. When it comes to Black people, oh, well, we gave, now we got $15 an hour. And so that will help Black people, but it's never anything that's targeted to Black people. I mean, I've listened to talking about like, and basically they make it as if like Juneteenth was something that was given to us. What did we get out of it? That's kind of like when you work at a job and you really need a pay raise. You really might need health insurance. You might need all of these things, but what do you get? You get a fucking pizza party. Yep. That's what Juneteenth is. Juneteenth is like giving us a pizza party when we really need more hours, when we really need a raise. And the thing about it is, they talk about like Joe Biden's numbers being in the tank, you know, and they're like, well, but he got the most diverse staff. Well, wait a minute, is it the most diverse staff because you got a bunch of people of color, and so if he got a bunch of people of color, that helps Black people necessarily? No, it doesn't. You got the first Black female Supreme Court. Okay, nice gesture. But what does that do to change the life for most Black people? Most of these things don't. And so you can't show me where any policy that they've done has been directed to help the Black community. It's we'll make a policy, and if the Black community is helped, then okay, we're cool with that. That's what we get. Joe Biden had the nerve to come out of his mouth and say, if you don't vote for me, you ain't Black. But the very first thing he did was get in and work on a bill for the LGBTQ community and the Asian community, and then something for the Jewish community, and then forget Black people. We can't even get a lot of the.
He just signed an executive order on behalf of the LGBTQ community, right? Something that was painted to like offset some of the Republican laws that have passed in those particular states. I mean, it's like, again, what is it that, what protections do they need that they don't already have? It's so weird. And Kelly, of course he did.
Of course, you know. Well, he fixed it, but at the same time, I hear some white people literally, and I've heard some who consider themselves religious people try to say that Obama brought racism back. It was already gone. We were in a post-racist society.
Mm-hmm. I've
Yeah,
heard that too.
and that's another one. That's another diatribe that I'll go on, Atris, when they talk about not even Hispanics. I'll put it this way: Mexicans get Cinco de Mayo, but that's not even
exactly.
It's not even a mess. It's not even what most people think it is. It's literally one battle where the U.S. actually helped in a battle that happened inside of Mexico. It is not Mexican. It's not Independence Day or nothing like that. If you're gonna actually support, if you're actually gonna celebrate the holiday, celebrate their actual Independence Day. But no. Or actually, how about this? How about on that day where you want to give some kind of reverence, give actually some kind of reverence? How about, you know, for some of those people who've been waiting to get their case of asylum out of a country which they're being persecuted, which the U.S. went in and fucking destroyed, how about you get them to the head of the line so they could possibly get citizenship? Or how about you get the fuck out of the country? That too could help. I mean, but you know, and I definitely want to, you know, go into that one of these days. But you know, for trying to stay on topic, because I will rant all day long on all this shit. Juneteenth, they've literally tokenized it and made it fucking unimportant. And
that's what I'm saying. They really took it from the people who it belonged to. And again, I could just tell you from, you know, my profession, all I hear is like the snide, sarcastic remarks like, "Oh, you know, something. Are you guys open on Monday? It's a holiday. Oh, but you know, we don't really. It's not really a holiday."
Yeah, that's right. Trump brought it back. I forgot. That's right. My bad. Correction. That's coming next. That's going to come in after the primaries.
I'm telling you.
Oh my gosh. I mean, and here's the thing. They're not going to do anything that actually matters. I mean, and they're wondering why Black support is dropping. And then you have people like The View who they're like, but well, no, Biden is doing good and he's done this and he's done that. He ain't done shit. And in all honesty, let's put it this way. I'm gonna give you guys some real game. I'm pretty sure most of my audience already knows this. But for those who are just catching this for the first time, literally in our lifetime, nothing is improved for the Black community. And it doesn't matter which president you put in there. Literally everything is only gotten, I want to say, since you had the civil rights era where things kind of, it calmed down a little bit. But once you hit about the 70s was about as good as it could get. And it was still pretty bad, racist and all kind of stuff like that then. 80s, it got worse. 90s, it got worse. 2000s, it got worse. 2010s, it's got worse. 2020s is getting worse. And if you think 2030 ain't about to be fucking even more than that, you don't see what the hell is going on. Mm-hmm. So, I mean, I laugh at that. And Misha, you did bring out a good point earlier. Ricky Martin Day. Well, they already got Ricky Martin Day with LGBTQ month. So
isn't it like Ricky Martin Day every day this month, supposedly?
So, and that's a good point you brought up too, Misha. People, for anybody who's a person of faith, the whole fact of the rainbow flag is the hugest middle finger you could possibly come up with, because it's a biblical term that you literally stole and co-opted. But why would I be surprised that a white person would co-opt some shit? Mm-hmm. Why would I be surprised that they would co-opt that?
That's what happens all the time.
So, I mean, we'll leave that there, you know, because I could keep ranting on how Juneteenth wasn't nothing, and it's not nothing anymore.
I see Hunter Biden is in there, not to make fun of the crack smokers, but did he get caught smoking crack again?
No, Hunter Biden. The reason why Hunter Biden is in the news is because Apparently,
so bad. Look, hold on, Marcus, real quick before we jump into it. Let's just think about that. The president's son, his name immediately you correlated with crack.
Yeah,
that's like Pookie from New Jack. Like if
Yeah.
somebody say Pookie, you already know you talk about a crackhead. So if somebody says Hunter Biden or Hunter, I'm triggered like the damn dog to think, oh, crack. Oh, Hunter Biden, smoking crack. Hunter, smoking crack.
Exactly,
You know?
Stephen. Yeah, you have a whole month to celebrate Black History, MLK Day, Juneteenth. What else do you need? Yep, that's exactly the conservative mind is thinking. And I look at it like this: is this society that we're living in is so just like, honestly, I would rather a lot of these people just leave us alone. Just stop trying to come up with days and okay, well, we'll take down this statue and that statue. America is a racist ass country. We know that. Whether you are black, brown, Latino, it does not like you. If you are a stranger to this country, and I'm talking about it as an immigrant, America does not like you. We know who you are, America. Now, you can try to tell yourself that you're not what you are. You can try to tell yourself that you didn't genocide whole nations of people and enslave them and get all of your wealth through them, and then try to act like you're benevolent. You can try to act like you ain't like you're not the syndicate, like you're not Lucky Luciano that got all his money through crime, and then all of a sudden trying to act like you're a straight businessman. That's what America is. It is a completely corrupt corporation. From its core and its inception, and it still runs that way. It still runs that way to this very day. And then I have to listen, and not only America, all of his little punk ass homeboys who roll with it, just like most of Europe and Canada also. So it always cracks me up when I have to hear Westerners talk about how, well, look at Russia and how bad Russia is. You realize Russia actually sent troops over to help the North fight against the South in the Civil War? If anything, we should be more cool with Russia than any of these motherfuckers. So that's just one little side note I wanted to throw out there. At the Political Matrix, I will reiterate, I don't want to see any photos of his. No, that's not in there. That is not in there. Here goes says, I don't know what's worse, the son laptop or the daughter diary. Let me just play this clip. Let me play this clip because I know most of y'all don't torture yourselves like I do and watch some of this mainstream media. But sometimes I gotta bring y'all some of this shit so y'all can see what the hell that they talking about. Let's see what Steven says. Newark has a black mayor, black city councilman, black congressman, black senators, and all we got is MLK statue, a George Floyd statue, and a BLM banner in the streets. And ain't none of that gonna stop a cop from killing another black or brown man and getting off from it. Ain't none of that gonna stop it. Ain't none of that gonna stop us from not getting jobs or not getting properly paid. I mean, I had a job where when I was working in delivery at Lowe's before I started moving up in delivery. When I first got over there, had a kid, 18 years old, white kid, literally got paid $10 an hour more than me when I had military experience in college and had been working for Lowe's for 5 years at the time. Fresh out of high school, gets paid $10 an hour more than me. So I mean, if that's the reality that we're still dealing with, I mean, I'd rather you guys fix some of that shit. Fix some of the pay inequity. Let's close this wage gap. I don't need any more token holidays. I don't need any more boule class, Clyburns in office. I don't need none of that shit.
Well, Marcus, you mentioned it earlier. It's kind of like you work at a job and they had a good month. Instead of just putting that money in your pocket, they give you a pizza party.
Yep.
It's the same thing. It's unfortunate.
Let's see. Let's get this up. Play this clip real quick for y'all. this is from the Hill. That's why I say occasionally some of these mainstream medias, they will bring out
Hunter
some
Biden
shit.
is back in the news, but
Let me pause it because I know you're going to get the best commentary from, a lot of your journalists that you're going to see on independent media, whether that's on Rockfin, whether that's on YouTube, whether that's on Twitch, whatever. You're going to get your actual good analysis and ways to actually see these in different lights from people like us. But these people have the resources to follow and get into this shit. We don't. So if we don't watch any mainstream media, we're not going to hear nothing about some of these stories. And it's just a matter of we need to take the story.
Wait, did Yipper just say Biden fell off his bike today?
Yes, he did.
He did?
Yes.
Oh, yo, you gotta play that video.
I'll play that one after this one. It's a quick clip.
Oh, okay, good.
Yeah, he pops right back up. I mean, he didn't really he didn't hit his face like I wanted him to.
I was hoping he just like
Nah, it's one of those things where you kind of slow down and your foot gets a little tripped up and you just kind of fall over.
Okay, so he
fell. It wasn't good. It wasn't good.
But he didn't break his hip.
Oh
really.
no!
Like,
No.
Oh, okay.
If you're paying attention to the legacy media, you probably missed this story. Here's the Washington Examiner headline. The moment Hunter Biden tells his father he will do anything he tells him to. So the moment Hunter Biden says his father will do anything he tells him to, you can hear that actually on tape. I think we have a clip of that we can play right now.
Hold on, I got to pause that. What?
We'll talk about
what? Like Little John would say what?
That he believes in. If I say this is important to me,
come on, man.
Then
My shit is
he will
delayed.
work a way in which to make it.
I had to stop that. That shit killed me. What did you just say, Uncle Warren? What did you just say? He said, look, it's Ritz and saltine. Woo! Woo, boy. Man, I don't know. What is it, a full moon out or something? Because y'all are roasting the shit out of these people. Y'all are roasting these people tonight. Oh, Steven
Ruby,
says, I do
want to see it, Ruby.
Steven says, I thought that was Emma Vigeland. I swear they grow these people in labs just slightly different. Oh, yeah, this chick is... and the sad thing about it, I can tell they do a lot of work to try to make her look as presentable as they can. Because I've seen her for a while on here, and they be trying to throw a little makeup and do this. But
wait,
yeah.
hold on. The prior to this, it said, Hunter Biden said that his father will do whatever he tells him to do.
That's what I said.
Being on crack make you think you could do anything too, right? So. I tell my dad do anything, he gonna do it. Like you're gonna be fiended out. So this shit is crazy. I mean, just think about it. We make crackhead jokes about the president's son, and it's legitimate. It's not even fake.
Oh yeah. Well,
like you filmed yourself many a times hitting a glass. You know what? You know what I'm saying? It's really.
But yeah, I mean, but you don't know. I mean, for one, you could say that's just a crackhead saying shit, or it could be some fucking truth to this. That's the scary part. We don't know.
Joe is probably like, I'll do anything for my son. Your mom.
He said it.
Died, so
he's literally said like people. Anybody start talking shit about his son, he gets extremely defensive.
Mm-hmm.
So I think it's one of those situations where I think it's some smoke there, it's some smoke definitely there. It might be some fire to this, but yeah, he says some shit in here, and this is, I guarantee you, we're gonna start seeing more of this shit keep dropping. That's why I say, mark my words, you will see worse shit that he's gonna say, because they've already said. Hey, I'll let you guys watch this clip.
A part of his platform. My dad respects me more than he respects anyone in the world, and I know that to be certain. So it is not going to be about whether my dad thinks it's going to affect his politics. No, it won't. It's not going to be whether or not he's going to be embarrassed. I mean, he never will. It's not going to. All of those concerns that you have with all of the people that you know that are in the that are the children of. I have none of them.
Yes, the lack of embarrassment is certainly relevant. Andrew Kerr, the reporter on that byline, he's an investigative reporter at the Washington Examiner, is joining us now to discuss the situation further. Andrew, thanks so much for being here.
Hey, thanks for having me.
So this audio is key. I mean, it's kind of saying the quiet part out loud. It's kind of saying what everybody already knows. You don't go to lobbying, and you're not successful in lobbying unless you have the ear of people in power. And if your last name is Biden, that would mean Joe Biden. But Andrew, what do we know about the timeline of this audio? When is it from? What's the context? Who's he talking to? Tell us more from your reporting.
Yeah, so this is was recorded in early December 2018. So about 5 months before Joe Biden announced his candidacy for president in April 2019. This is a 77-minute recording. We pulled it from a copy of Hunter Biden's laptop. It was actually from a password-protected backup of his iPhone XS. We've been working with a former Secret Service agent named Gus Dimitrilos, and he was able to locate the password to that 28 gig backup on the laptop. And so there's just a whole host of new files that we've been going through, including this recording. Hunter is talking with a British artist named Philippa Horan. And this was in the throes of his addiction to crack cocaine. So it very well could be that he was exaggerating the influence that he has with his father. We did ask the White House, what Hunter said, that he was directly involved in the months leading up to Joe Biden's presidential candidacy, talking about being involved in political planning discussions, text from this new trove of documents show, but they didn't answer. So yeah, I mean, it's a pretty fascinating recording, just seeing how candid he was with just saying that essentially, if it's an important issue to me, then my dad is going to make it a part of his political platform.
That's how you sell lobbying services, yeah. How you market.
Right, and in the context of that conversation, he's talking about drug treatment, right?
Yeah, we uploaded about 7 minutes of the conversation, but the whole recording is 77 minutes, and he does talk about his ongoing addiction to crack cocaine. He's actually at one point he sort of justifies his continued use of the substance, saying that maybe this is the best thing that ever happened to me, and this can put me down the pathway of turning me into the man that my father believes that I am. I mean, he had a horrible addiction. It's just really clear, looking through the drive. I mean, he was just, he was really in it deep. But yeah, I mean, still, what the tape that you just showed, he did make the claim that, yeah, Dad will do anything that I want him to.
Any hints you can give us about what else you guys have found so far in here? Because it's a fascinating story about finding the iPhone backup that was had it encrypted, and you needed a password, and then your cyber guy managed to find the password somewhere else in the computer, tried it, obviously it worked, and it unlocked it. Anything else that you can tease for us?
Yeah, so we did another story this week. There's an incident in October 2018 where Hallie Biden, who's Hunter Biden's sister-in-law, that they were having a sexual relationship with, discarded one of his a handgun that he owned near a high school in Delaware. And this incident has been reported elsewhere, but in this cache of new documents, there's a lengthy text exchange on the day of that incident where Hunter is just railing against Hallie for taking his gun from his unlocked car and throwing it in a trash can near Delaware High School. He's saying that you're making me out to be, quote, an abusive pedophile with homicidal tendencies, that this is now in the hands of the FBI. He said that I'm never going to recover from this. You've been totally irresponsible. And on the other side of the conversation, Hallie is like, look, I was scared for you. I thought that you were going to use this gun. I was scared for your life. I just, your kids were around. I was just really scared, and I'm sorry. I just acted on a knee-jerk reaction. So it's a really it's a bizarre and illuminating conversation that they had. And what's so interesting about that that incident is that Hunter claimed in other texts in the laptop that the Secret Service got involved, and Politico reported on this last year. And the Secret Service is now saying that we have no records that of any involvement in this incident. So we have a gun being discarded near high school, and it was just swept under the rug. So it'll be interesting to see if we can find anything more on that. Talk to some more folks to try to find out what exactly happened. That we had this incident that supposedly the Delaware State Police, the FBI, and according to Hunter, the Secret Service were involved, and then it was all swept under the rug.
Yeah, I was going to say Hunter Biden's wrong on that point. It wasn't the end of him. It definitely didn't ruin him. There's barely been a peep in the media about the gun story. Andrew, do we know why, in all the context you have in these full recordings, do we know why these conversations were being recorded? I'm trying to think of, why that Hunter Biden would have a recording of this conversation with the artist, and why he would have an audio recording of this conversation with Hallie Biden. Is there any indication of why these were being recorded in the full tapes?
Hunter was a prolific documentarian of his own life. I think that's the best way of putting it. He constantly is filming himself, talking, having conversations with people, there's a lot of illicit content on the drive. He's just, I've never really seen anything like it. Someone just, with such an addiction to videotaping themselves. There's a lot of videos of him just like kind of staring at himself on the phone. Through the selfie camera. So yeah, I mean, as far as the context of why he decided to record this particular conversation, it's on. He doesn't really say why he's recording it, but about 20 minutes into the conversation, he actually does tell the woman that he's talking to, this British artist, Philippa Haran, that oh yeah, by the way, I am recording this conversation. So this wasn't like secretly taped or anything. The people that are around Hunter many times knew that he was recording them.
And so now that you have access to this new backup of a phone on this laptop, I'm wondering if we might start to be able to unravel another mystery here. And I don't know if we could put this up here. There was this tantalizing story in the Daily Mail back in, when was this? August of 2021, that reported on a video that showed up on Hunter's laptop, in which he's telling a story in January of 2019, and the story he's telling is about the summer of 2018, where he went on this just absolutely coincides with some of your timeline here. He goes on this absolutely massive like 10-day, 18 days, something long bender in Las Vegas, and it ends with him. And I'll read a quote from Hunter. He says, "So I went out to the hot tub by myself." These are $10,000 a night places he's staying at in Vegas.
I thought these was all like all clinics though.
Of the effing top floor with glass. It's ridiculous. And I'm sitting there, and that's the last thing I remember. I don't ever pass out ever. So he basically passes out in this hot tub. He comes to, and there is basically a Russian sex worker, he says, who's in the hotel room with some other people who he'd been hanging out with, and he suspects that she then took his laptop.
Yes, they do.
So this is summer of 2018, and so in January, before all of this comes out, he's relaying this story that a Russian sex worker had taken his laptop, and the Daily Mail speculates that Hunter would be an obvious like easy target of a foreign surveillance operation, you don't have to go far to try to figure out what his weakness might be, like how you're going to kind of get to him.
Yeah, so I want to hear your thoughts on this, Chris. It's a lot there. It's a whole lot there.
I thought we weren't allowed to talk about this.
Why not?
I don't know, because it's the president's son. Isn't that forbidden?
Man,
Can't make the president look bad?
It wasn't. Right? It was while he was running for office.
Yeah, because when it came out, and of all places, and I hate to have to give them the credit, but it was the New York Post who posted a story about this, about Hunter Biden. Maybe not about all of this here, but they definitely posted a story about Hunter Biden, and Twitter removed it. So that's why I didn't think we were allowed to talk about it. I'm being facetious as far.
So I'm glad the Russian girl took his laptop. Baba, here says, rich elite behavior is very alien. Like, I used to clean for well-to-do people. They were slobs. Yes, they are slobs. And their family
dynamic was really off the wall. That's a fact. If you get around some of these people with bread, I'm talking like nobody has to work money. They family values are all kind of twisted. The disrespect with them kids, dog, it's crazy.
But I mean, for me, none of this is surprising.
No,
because
he can't get in trouble.
It's a reason.
He can't get in trouble, so he going. That's why he did all this shit. Because at the end of the day, you know what? I'll just call my dad, whether my father was president or not, senator or not. I'll just call my father. He was the former vice president.
Well, it's not senator or not. It's because he was a senator. My father is senator of Delaware for most of my life.
Correct.
What are you going to tell me? And we all know at least one rich kid that, you know, I'll just call my dad. My dad will do, and this is what happens when somebody has a lifetime of that. Everybody talked about the Trump kids. I mean, you can say whatever you want about the Trump kids. They didn't have all this shit going on.
Exactly, John. Highly that shadow. No, but go ahead.
I mean, I could crack on this goofy ass all day long, but this is why they made it illegal to talk about the laptop. Because they knew what the fuck was on there.
Of course. When the first guy saw it, he was like, oh, shit.
It's like, oh, hell no, we can't let this shit out here. This is the same thing. It goes back to with Hillary. And what I mean by that is the whole, I'm trying to think of, what was that big, tall, jolly green giant? What was his name? The FBI agent. You guys know what I'm talking about. Comey. That's the reason why Comey was like, oh, well, I won't say anything and get involved anymore. Because if they would really start going through Hillary's emails, they would start finding a lot of uncouth type shit. And it's the same thing. It's the same thing that's going on. It's sad when you really think about it. I almost feel like invasion of privacy. On that level, if you are to that level, you need to be. There shouldn't be any privacy for a lot of these people if you want to be. And then you have the option to say, you know what? I don't want that kind of scrutiny. I'm not putting myself in the fray for that. But if you want to be on that level and have the trust of the American people, all your dirty laundry should just be out there. And they don't want to have that. So, I mean, that's all for this story. I mean, and like I said before, there's going to be more shit, I guarantee you. Ruby Curl says, I have a pic that was released very early on in laptop leak of Hunter doing something very questionable with someone. It's disgusting. You can find it online. You can't find it online anymore. Well, and that's what I found. With a lot of this shit, you have to fucking like screenshot it, screen record it, keep it on your phone, possibly put it on to some kind of chip server or something, save that shit later, because they scrub the internet for stuff like this. When it's that clip of Biden talking about the chip, now you have to literally go and find that full entire thing, because I guess they figured because it is part of an official committee type business, they're not going to completely scrounge it all the way off the internet. But what they did was they buried it in a 3 hour long, a 3 hour long kind of council, so that you don't see that 30 seconds, which you need to really see. Says, I agree, it's just creepy as fuck peeking in the addict's whirlwind. Yeah, well, the problem is these people, they're, like Chris was saying, the family dynamic, like you were saying, the family dynamic of these people, which leads them to being like this. I mean, it's clear and obvious that most rich people's kids are the most screwed up. I mean, think about how many kids, and not only rich kids, people who have authority. How many times everybody knows that the cop kid is the worst kid in town, or the preacher's kid is the worst kid in town? It's because there's no accountability at home.
At all.
Says Sign says they aren't even bringing up Biden's thousands of instances of plagiarism dating back to his college days. There's so more. I mean, there's so much more. Like I did a couple of videos on him during the primaries on all kind of stuff that I don't even think people remember about Joe Biden. And let me see if I can find one of them and go into a little bit of it. Oh, that's right. That's right. Let me put the Biden falling off the bike, because I know everybody wants to see that one. And I found a good, I'll show you guys the one I watched it on. I mean, I'm pretty sure a lot of people covered it, but I'll show you the one I saw it on. Where is that?
Oh, he bust his ass. Yo. Yo. He bust his ass. Angelica Gabor Monte is a great writer. I got several of his books.
Mm-hmm. Oh, yeah, he fell. He definitely fell.
Oh, he bust his shit. Damn, too bad he had a helmet on.
Yeah. They say he did hit his face, but not
It looked
hard, I
like
guess.
it.
Yeah.
It looked like he felt good.
They expunged all they could out of this clip. That's why I love this station. They got the best out of it, the perfect music and all that. The slow-mos.
Oh, down goes Frazier. He looked like he had a mental moment. Oh, he had a mental moment.
He looking back like, who pushed me?
Who pushed me? Correct.
Like somebody did it to him.
Look, no matter what they do, how they try, he finds a way to embarrass them. And people really thinking like this guy is doing anything other than just standing there.
He's a joke. He literally is a joke. I mean, and he cracked me up talking about, I'd like to take Trump behind the building and give him what for. You get your ass whipped. Shut up.
What? And Trump ain't the most. Once Trump falls, once Trump's fat ass falls on him, it's over.
I honestly, because for you guys who don't know, like, and when I talk to people in person, I'm like a very physical kind of person. So, like, I how they talk about physical comedy. Like, I would like be acting shit out, kind of in a sense. And so, I could literally imagine, like, I can imagine, Biden like, oh, come on, I don't, and then Trump be like, don't worry, I'll get you, Biden. I'll get you. I mean, I literally can see him catfighting like a female, but I can guarantee you he'll windmill the shit out of Joe Biden. It shit'll be over. But what was it? Baba said something that I wanted to go back and pull up. She made a good point. She made a real good point. Said, do you find it ironic that the elites, the cult, and feds introduce crack to take down black communities, and lo and behold, it finds its way. It finds a way. Biden, Hunter's Biden. Yeah. I tell you this all the time. I know it's a lot of atheists out there. A lot of atheists who listen to our channel, and I still love them, appreciate them. but it literally talks about how they go out and set a trap for somebody else and then fall into their own damn trap. This is what it's talking about. This is exactly what it's talking about. Falling into their own fucking traps. It's kind of ironic. I talked about falling and he's falling, but yeah. And the messed up thing about this is all photo op. Excuse me. This is all trying to be a photo op to, show that he's still vital and he's still vigorous and he got it all together and he ain't falling the fuck apart. The Russian Yipper, no, you didn't. No, you didn't. Where'd it go? Yipper, did you really say that? The Russians sent corn pop after him. Wow. Well, of course they don't look golden because remember he said like it was like little roaches crawling on his legs. Oh, that's right. He was talking about the black kids.
Ali, what's going on?
Down goes corn pop. And Ali, let me know if you want to hop in here because I haven't started on the 6G yet. So I got some good shit. I know you got some good stuff too. So just let me know. Or if you want, send it. Just send it to me. But yeah, you could definitely hop in if you want. In fact, I'm gonna pull up. Say, give me a sec. I'm gonna sit there. I'm gonna send Ali the link right now, just in case she wants to hop in, because we're gonna on our next story that we're gonna go into. We're gonna go into 6G and why 6G is something we all need to be paying attention to and watching out for. Invite guest. But it is I don't want to spoil it and talk about it. I kind of more want to show you. So yeah, the link is in there, Ali. So if you want to hop on, come on. Let's see. Jim says he doesn't know how to take his toe out of the toe hole on his bike anymore. He forgot how to do a lot of things. I guarantee you that. So let's play a little bit more of this because they like remix the hell out of this clip. I mean, it's probably maybe a 15-second clip, and they turn this bitch into 3 minutes. I give them much credit for this. Beautiful work. Slow down, Jill. That's how you go out. That's how you go out on a strong note. That's from the Republic. It is a Indian.
Yo, Steve is right. Steve is right. He said if there was Puerto Ricans, all you hear was like "toma, wepa." Yo, for real. Like, oh God.
Let's go over to the Rock fan real quick. Let me see what you're talking about over there. It says, okay, nothing new. It says Biden or Biden.
Nah, the body double not falling, Denver.
Nah, because the body double got to be a stunt man as it is. So
yeah, so he's not falling.
Yeah, it's almost as if the man is not well, Denver. The man is not motherfucking well. He is definitely not well. I wanted to read Jimmy's message. Drives me crazy when I hear Fox News say Biden does this and Pelosi does that when they don't make any of their own decisions, not a single one. It's all made for them. They just follow the script. But Jimmy, you got to remember this though, brother. Fox News and MSNBC and CNN, they're part of the script too. They got to give this impression that these people have power. And by doing that and by complaining about Biden or complaining about Pelosi, it makes it look like they're the ones making these decisions to add credibility to their system that has no credibility. And that's part of the hustle. You know, they got to have all these separate controls to balance off each other, to play everything. You said, Yipper, where was Jill? Jill was the one that zipped by on the other side. She was the one that was in the purple.
She's the one who was like, "Yo, son, you going the wrong way." He was like,
huh? She zipped off, and he tried to make his act. Honestly, for me, what would have made the shit better is if he would have ran into the press corps. That would have been like
if he would have crashed into them and then fell, that would have been all right.
Exactly. They don't want no Kamala to be president. I know you know, but and it gets frustrating, Jimmy. It does. I'm with you too, because sometimes I get myself roped into like, this is part of their fucking game. This is all part of their fucking game. And I got to reach out to you one of these times, Jimmy. I want to get you on for a Rock Fan exclusive so we can talk about some of the stuff that you talk about. You know what I mean? So I'm going to talk about that. We're going to get into some of the 6G stuff. And we're going to talk about it a little candid, but we got to go a little bit extra non-candid, if you know what I mean. So everybody, you know, make sure you pencil that in whenever we get that set up. I want to make sure to have, you know, Mana Talk over there, Jimmy Young, and, you know, Stevie from Red Economics, get those two on and, you know, have a political matrix, Mana Talk kind of team up to kind of go into some of this stuff because, though I don't always agree with everything Jimmy says, and I don't agree with everything anybody says, he is at least shining a light in some corners that nobody's looking at. And you need to be looking at these corners that he's looking at, because what we were talking about, like some people talk about the Bilderbergs and stuff. And it's cool to talk about this shit, but if you're not trying to figure out what is the purpose of these things, why are they doing this stuff? Then what's the point of talking about it? You can't prepare for what might be coming or try to avoid might be coming if you're just not even thinking about it. We all got to have these different theories, and not just theories. There's plenty of evidence which lead us to these hypotheses and conclusions. It's not like we're just pulling random crap out of the air. Jimmy ain't just pulling random crap out of the air. Neither are we over here. So. This dude.
Ignore. Just keep it.
No, he's not even going to get timed out. I'm just going to straight block him. No. You don't realize the that's been going on, and I'm tired. I don't want to deal with this crap.
Prop, what's up, man?
Also, Prop has been mad disrespectful to me, so I don't even want to hear his shit.
Prop, chill, son. Like, don't come in here while Prop. Like, don't fuck up the vibe, dog.
I don't come.
Like, you already had your discussion. You already had your discussion on China, right? And
now he's shitting on my religion too, shitting on faith too. So I mean, this dude's level of disrespect is just. I'm not coming at him like this. That's the reason why I have such a problem. I'm not coming at this dude like this. And he has some reason to fucking come at me all kinds of sideways. I'm not showing him disrespect, but he feels a need to be disrespectful to me. And he was being disrespectful to Fuzz earlier. That shit ain't cool. You can have a feeling however you want to feel. Marcus said I'm a Westerner. Anybody in the chat, can you explain how being a Canadian or American, you are not a Westerner? Please explain that to me. We live in what's called Western civilization. Quit. And he's trying to make it like that's some kind of insult. Everybody who lives in America, Great Britain, Canada, even in Mexico, you're a Westerner. Quit playing stupid games with me, dude. No, I'm gonna give him one more chance. Because I kicked him out of my Discord earlier today for being fucking disrespectful. I don't have a problem with you disagreeing,
not yet.
but
Not
disrespect
yet.
is another thing. You talking about, bro, we live on the globe. I don't buy in. I don't care. Prop. It doesn't matter what philosophy you buy into. It is an established fact that's been going on way before you. You don't get to fucking redefine terms. So I don't care about, well, I don't define. Who gives a shit? Who the fuck are you to decide what's going on with everybody else in the rest of the world? I don't, dude. I'm gonna time you out right now because you're fucking being a distraction and a nuisance. I'm not gonna block you at this point, but if you keep it up, I will block you. No, those terms are made by government.
Marcus, we just keep it pushing, dog. Acknowledge and ignore. AI, kid.
Dude.
Just AI. Acknowledge and ignore. You know how much I have to do that shit every fucking day? You know how much shit I gotta acknowledge and ignore? You know.
Yes, be out. I don't go to your fucking live streams. Be out.
Yeah. Shit.
I mean, I don't go to other people's stuff to fucking try to troll them or have beefs with them. If I don't agree with something somebody's saying, I don't go into their shit. Plain and simple. You don't have to go around trolling people. And you're on timeout. Jimmy says, Prop, I appreciate you and everybody here. But look, none of us are perfect. We all want each other to have more joy and less pain, joy and pain, sunshine and rain.
Sunshine and rain.
Yeah. 5 minutes to fucking cool out. I don't go into literally nobody's streams and go and harass them
and start messing with them.
So if you can't keep that up to have a little bit of decency and maturity, I mean, let me get back to 6G. Because that's what's fucking important here. All right. Let's see. All right. So is this the right one? Yeah. This came from World Economic Forum. This was a little clip. And this is why I listen to all kinds of different medias, even people that some people don't agree with. I mean, I know I have people who follow me that some like Jimmy Dore, some don't like Jimmy Dore, and they talk all kind of shit about Jimmy Dore. But guess what? If I didn't pay attention to Jimmy Dore, I wouldn't have known about this clip. So it does. And I mean, there's a clip that I'm covering on one of my other channels from fucking TYT. And none of us here like TYT. That doesn't mean that people can't do good work here and there. So I'm going to play this clip, check this out, and let me know what you guys think in the chat.
The metaverse into a virtual reality world, turn a dial, pull a switch, feel around, and actually change it in the real plant?
Absolutely. And this is not far off. I mean, the physical and the digital worlds, they will grow together, and the result is exactly what you just said.
I wanted to ask when you all think we're going to move from this form factor to something that's on your face, glasses, and when computing's all on the edge.
All right, 50 seconds. Who wants to answer quickly? I think it will go. It will. First of all, it will definitely happen. I was talking about 6G.
earlier, which is around 2030. I would say that by then, definitely the smartphone as we know it today will not anymore be the usual kind of the most common interface.
Wow.
Many of these things will be built directly into our bodies. Many of these things will be built directly into our bodies.
Many of these things will be built directly into our bodies.
Can you imagine that in 10 years when we are sitting here, we have an implant in our brains, and I can immediately feel, because you all will have implants.
Hello, Bethany speaking. Hello. You phoning for Bethany? Yes. What are you doing? This is Bethany. Can you hear me? Well, you're right in front of me. But can you hear me down the phone? Oh my gosh. This is me. On the phone, I had it implanted. My hand is the phone. I can walk and talk because I'm on the phone inside my hand. I am the phone.
Mm-hmm.
It's going to be from now on. I have integrated. Thank you for your call. Subdermal implants. They charge themselves with motion like a self-winding watch. And it's on the 22 network. I get signal across 95% of UK mainland, 98 by next year. When I phoned you, it was ringing. You were ringing. That's the speaker. So small.
Oh shit, this shit's on autoplay. Hold on a
6G
second.
will liberate human potential. It will transform the way we live, the way we work.
So yeah, I wanted to stop that first and get some of your thoughts on that. If you guys didn't notice what happened, it literally talked about, he said that the phones are going to be implanted into your hand. I mean, well, into your body is what he said specifically. So I'm wondering, what is some of your thoughts? Baba says, what the fuck? 6G, no. We don't get rid of 3, 4, 5. It's all still running. That's overkill. They're trying to kill us. What they're trying to do is with this 6G, for those who follow my other channel, I don't know if you guys remember, but I did a video about the first long distance automated truck that went all the way from Jacksonville, Florida, all the way to San Diego, completely unmanned. Well, and then we've done more videos talking about all the different technology. Well, the thing which has held up all of this stuff is because they haven't been able to get it on the signal hasn't been as reliable. Well, with 6G, it said that the computing possibilities are supposed to increase, I'm not sure the exact level, but significantly over 5G. When they have that level of increase, it's supposed to be to a point where all of those different robotics that they were talking about putting online. And I know, like I heard Sagar the other day on the Hill say, well, they talked about, the General Dynamics robot and the robot dog and yada, yada, whatever. I'm not worried about it. The issue has been the signal. The technology is there and it's working, but they need the signal to be able to keep these machines up and running 24/7. Once they get to that, oh yeah, go ahead.
I was going to say that's what the the people who are screaming COVID 5G, COVID 5G.
Be careful. Be careful. We're still on YouTube right now.
Oh, okay. Yeah, I'll be easy. But all the people who are screaming about the 5G, my question to them was, what, you don't think they don't have 6G already? And they're not working on the next, the next advancement? It never made sense to me. You know what I'm saying? Like how they tied it together to everybody getting sick. Like, oh, if you look at where the the towers are, and if you look here, whatever, dogs, they already on to the next shit.
Yeah. And I want to bring up Jimmy's comment. Jimmy says, I watch everybody, even Rachel Maddow. I haven't been able to. Ooh, you're tougher than me. I haven't been able to get myself to watch Rachel or Kyle anymore. He says, and Graham Elwood, haha. I just said they all in the same sentence. Well, yeah, I mean, but that's the way we find this information. We have to be able to keep up with all of these different things that are going on. Let's see, get caught back up. Let's see. I got an email from Spectrum saying 10G coming soon. Good Lord. They haven't even got 6G out, and they're already talking about 9 and 10G. Good Lord. Yeah, I'm gonna have to look for that and start looking into 10G. Allie was telling me that she has something, on 6G, which that's why I was gonna try to bring her on.
Yeah, I don't know where she went.
Yeah, so let's see.
Allie, where you disappeared, son?
Yeah, I wanted to see what she had. So for those who don't know what 6G is exactly and what's the purpose, I kind of outlined a little bit of it, but for intensive purposes, let's try to go into this video so we can try to see what what they're saying it is. And this, I'm wondering, was this the clip that I wanted to show or not? A lot of times when I'm saving stuff in my news to cover, I go and save a bunch of different things, and all of them aren't always what I plan to keep up with, but it's a lot of times just something interesting. So yeah, I guess let's let this one play and then see what it is. I must have saved it for a reason. But
connecting human worlds, physical worlds with digital worlds. And that will unleash new human possibilities. We are proud to say that Bell Labs has actually done many pioneering innovations in the field of communications. The laser was invented here, the cellular network, the transistor, actually the basis of AI was laid here. And this proud history that has led to also Nobel Prizes and Turing Awards. And so we are already preparing for the 6G era. We actually already started with the research on 6G 2 years ago. You want to be 10 years ahead of the game before the commercial deployment. You cannot do this alone. You need the partners. We are now leading the very first flagship project for 6G, Hexa-X. If you think of what the different generations of networks enable, 2G and 3G unleashed the potential of human mobility and connectivity. 4G unleashed the potential of information and social engagement with social media. 5G unlocked the potential of machines and sensing. And so what will 6G unleash? It will enable perfect knowledge of human world, connecting us with the digital world. 6G will enable holographic communication. It will be as if I'm teleported to your environment.
You won't need your phones anymore.
Design the same object.
Correct.
As if we are in the same room. 6G will enable us to offload mundane tasks from humans, things that machines do better.
You're free to go.
Quality checks, to really unleash things that humans are best at. Solving creative problems, strategic thinking. With 6G terahertz, we can not only do communication, but also use it as a sensing capability. And do things that, for instance, cameras cannot do. See things around the corner. If you think of the billions of devices that are going to be connected, the 6G network needs to bring reliable services, high performance, do it in a sustainable way, and then also in a secure way. We always like to anticipate future human needs, understand the real hard problems and solving them in creative and disruptive ways. Our ambitions come with real game-changing innovations that define the future of communications.
all right, let's stop that. Oh, no, stop.
Jackson, can you tell me what this means? Because I don't know about this stuff. Jackson, can you tell me what this means? Because I don't.
Yeah, this was the Jimmy Dore clip. Yeah, that was the Jimmy Dore clip, which I actually found that from. So for those people who are like, oh damn, this is Jimmy Dore, he's a blah blah blah. For one, Jimmy Dore's a fucking comic. I don't expect this dude to be the leading, thought leader on the left on any of this stuff. So let's just all cool out for a moment. But that clip right there was a clip where I was like, oh, wait a minute, I didn't know about that. I didn't even know that he said that shit. Because when you watch the World Economic Forum, you gotta have a lot of freaking time on your hands to go through all the shit that's said there. A lot of the stuff they say there is kind of, whatever, blah, 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 blah. But occasionally they do drop some information in there like that. And that's a little alarming. End up there. Why can't mass shooting end up there at the 6G hellhole? Well, because they don't want it to. All of these things are being controlled. You got to keep that in mind. None of this stuff is accidental. All of this stuff is designed and
thought out, planned out, discussed, focus group, all that.
Let's see. Web3. That's another one. You guys need to pay attention to Web3. Mr. Streets is onto something right here. Web3 will be monetized not by one, but several blockchain entities. This will be interesting for our future web browsing. This is something that we all need to be paying attention to, because this whole 6G and Web3 and blockchain and crypto, all of this stuff is tied together. And when we covered not that long ago about DARPA and Department of Defense working on blockchain currency from the government. That's also going to lead to the getting rid of paper currency and things like that, and everything going on to a digital market. All of this stuff leading up to a conflagration of the metaverse. And that's where all this stuff is coming in. Yes, Ruby, correct. They do, because they use those for things. And if you guys go back into what I said about the about what I brought up about the whole the shooting in Brooklyn, there's a possible motive there. Now I'm waiting for them to show us more and more why. I mean, I believe in time some of this stuff will come out more and more what's going on. Like, I ask people and wonder, the Las Vegas shooting, you guys remember that? After it happened, there was no real conclusions on anything, possible motives, exactly how many shooters, and it just dropped off the map.
It just completely disappeared, like, on to the next.
How do you have the largest mass shooting on record outside of Tulsa just disappear after a week or two? You can't say it was some kind of race thing, because he was a white guy that shot mostly white people. Well, I'm not going to say you can't say. I don't know. He did have an Asian spouse. He could have felt like, you know what? White people have been doing this to Asian people, so I'm getting back at them. He was a rich guy. Yeah, exactly. Yipper. The rich guy that shot up the place. He's a rich guy who checks into a hotel to just shoot up random people. Well, I mean,
correct.
It's like the Uvalde shooting. I'm still trying to understand this. I'm trying to wrap my head around the logic. Granted, the Buffalo shooter, when I'm hearing some of this other stuff, I'm thinking other things. But if you tell me the white guy was racist and decided to just go kill a bunch of black people, okay, that makes sense. If you tell me that this guy, like the shooting which happened out here in California, you have a Taiwanese guy who goes in to go shoot Chinese people. Okay, there's a beef between China and Taiwan. Okay, I can get that. That makes sense. It's just like there's a good catch.
Good hands.
Oh, thanks. And it was open too, so I didn't want to drop my coffee.
That's super dope.
But there's a shooting that just happened, and I forgot to bring that one up. I don't know if you guys know, in Alabama, 3 were just killed earlier today, I believe. In fact, I ought to try to pull that up. Let's try to see if I can find that real quick. But yeah, there were 3 that were killed. Let's see. And I was like, okay, let me see, and like I even get sometimes you might have this one dude who's in the community and he's beefing against like these other 3 people, and turns out you'll find out, well, this person is actually his ex-wife, and that stuff happens. I get it. But a lot of these things nobody wants to investigate into and explain what the motive was. And this was a church shooting also. Just want to put that in mind. So while we're talking about these mass shootings, let's bring this up real quick.
What you got?
This is the one that happened today. Oh shit, I thought I clicked on it.
Deadly shooting at an Alabama church, a gunman opening fire at a potluck dinner, fatally killing 2 people. We learned a 3rd person has now died as well. Police called to the scene of an active shooter, a hero inside the church, pinning the gunman down until authorities arrived. The Stevens Episcopal Church, the latest safe space, then struck by gun violence. Tonight, the suspect, a 70-year-old man who had been seen at the church before, has now been charged. ABC's Elwin Lopez is on the scene in Alabama.
Tonight, authorities charging a 70-year-old man with capital murder, accused of killing 3 people inside an Alabama church.
Have a active shooter situation, multiple patients at this time.
Late today, officials say Robert Finlay Smith, seen here in this newly released mugshot with a black eye, opened fire at St. Stephen's Episcopal Church during a potluck dinner on Thursday.
He produced a handgun and
Thursday.
Striking 3 victims.
The founder of that church saying his wife spotted the suspect there more than once.
My wife says that he looked like he didn't take very good care of himself, and he had a hard time communicating.
Police crediting another attendee with stopping the shooting, taking the gunman down and pinning him until officers arrived.
It was extremely critical in saving lives. The person that subdued the suspect, in my opinion, is a hero.
Officials identifying the victims as 84-year-old Jane Pounds, 75-year-old Sarah Yeager, and 84-year-old Walter Bart Rainey.
One of the kindest people that you can imagine. If you wanted to pick out somebody that just you'd love being with, it would be Bart Rainey.
And David, police say they believe the gunman acted alone and that there are currently no threats to the community. And tonight, officials have not released a motive. And David, I spoke to the founder of this church just a few moments ago, and he says that this will become a place of peace once again. David.
All right, Elwin Lopez in Alabama. Elwin, thank you.
Well, you don't expect people to get shot there. Of course, it's going to be a place of peace.
Yeah, I mean, I don't. What's the motive for that?
Yeah, who knows? Yeah, it's got to be something.
And yeah, a couple of comments I wanted to get to. What was it? Angelica says, "This shit is terrifying. I need to work on my survival skills." I tell everybody to work on them. We all need to be prepared because you never know when you can meet in the middle of some of this shit. And what was it? Where was that one? I had to read that one because he's so correct. Yes, Freethinker59 said, "You mean Jimmy come lately on issues and then taking credit for being the first to talk about it, Dory?" Oh yeah, and I completely agree with that sentiment. There are things that we have talked about on this show well before Jimmy Dore, well before him. Many other people who we know in our circles have. Even though I have my disagreements with L. Latham, me and L sat there almost a year ago now, talking to him about his new position, which he supports on COVID.
Correct.
And he sat there and went on camera over and over and over. I'm the only one talking about this.
You lying ass.
You're the only big person. You're a huge platform. And like I said, I don't mind giving people credit for bringing it to the forefront because you're a large channel which is talking about it. But there were so many of us down here on the bottom who were talking about
yes,
this.
we were.
And you don't give any credit or respect to any of us. And every time he says that, it's literally like hawking a loogie in our face. But I'm willing to fucking take it on the chin as long as that information can get out to a wider audience, because I know that we don't have the reach to get our perspective and our analysis out there. Many times on this show, we are a month, 2, 3, 6, 7, 8 months ahead of people.
It's a fact.
And then we watch stuff come out. We watch people take polls and then figure out what they're going to talk about and what their position is going to be, and then come out on it after there's a consensus of people are already started talking about this. We don't try to focus test anything. If we see something we think is something to pay attention to, we start talking about it, period. If it's no smoke and it goes nowhere, we drop it. If it's something where, no, this is something to pay attention to, we stay on it. We keep bringing it up. I mean, me and Chris, what was it, 2 years ago, we kept covering and talking about how the chip implants and all that was going to be a thing. That's something that I grew up always focusing on. I remember when George Bush talked during Chief Justice Roberts' confirmation, talking about you will rule on this one day. Talking about chips being implanted in people's bodies.
Exactly. He said that. He said it verbatim.
You will. I mean, and what year was that? Like 2000,
something like that. Yeah.
And so we've been watching these types of things, many of these different subjects. So it frustrates me anytime somebody likes to run out there and talk about, I'm the only one. You're not the only one. You just maybe don't know about these other people who are talking about it, but don't disrespect them by acting like you're the only person doing it and you're the only person doing good work. Did someone there make an engine running off water? Yes, they did. Yes, they did. And I want to see how many people are going to be talking about that. And there's another thing. I give credit to where I've seen this at. Like I said, Sakari Sergeant Yatab is the one who I saw bring attention to this. And then what I see 2-3 weeks later, everybody else start talking about it. And I was one of the people where I got that information from them. I don't have no problem with saying, you know what, on this one, I got that from Jimmy Dore. I have no problem with saying, you know what, hey, on this one, RBN was talking about this before me. I have no problem if that's what the case is. But these people who want to take all the credit for everything, and I don't even really care about credit. I only care that you guys get the information. That's what's most important to me, that you guys get the info. But some of these people, it's more important to be first. You know, I mean, a lot of stuff we would be some of the first people talking about it if we streamed as much as some of these other channels. But because we have, you know, regular day jobs, it's not easy for us to just hop on whenever we want to. That's the reason why we do a once a week show. But also another thing which makes our once a week show different is we actually take the time to research the sources instead of just being the first person out there talking about it. Let's see, Steve Poikinen from Slow Newsday says the one common denominator in many of these shootings are FBI involvement. Keep that in mind. Keep that in mind.
Most of the ones that involve them. I mean, there's been so-called terrorist attacks that have been quote unquote foiled. And, you know, it's the FBI that's been behind it from start to finish.
Sorry, I guess Ali sent a message to me. Let's see. Yeah, of course. You need me to send it? I'll just do it. I'll just do it. Hold on a second. Because we got some more info on this. That's what I said. If we're getting the information out to people, that's what's most important to me. So let me send that. Boom. All right. So let me get caught back up on these messages. I guess I got so far behind it. It's like, all right, I'm going to jump you up. Let's see. Grandfather, people shooting up places now. Who or what is A9A? It was trending on Twitter today. If anybody knows what Brian's talking about, yeah, we love to get into that, and it might be something that we need to look into. So
Who said?
Anybody? It says, here, let me put it on the screen. Brian Rizzo says, who or what is O9A? Not sure. I guess I missed it, but yeah, if anybody knows, has any information, let us know, or DM me. Matt Marxist a lot of times sends me a lot of different stuff, and I definitely check into Matt Marxist's info. He said, Ali, he is looking for you. Satanist neo-Nazi plot to murder U.S. soldiers. Is that what it is, Chris?
Yeah. None of these fit me best. I don't know. I'm not wearing
You sure none of them fit you best?
Yeah, I'm 1000% sure none of them shits fit me good.
Yes,
but this is the article.
Well, here's one thing I'll say. Well, hold that real quick, okay? Says, I like Jimmy, but that gets me too when he says he's the only person saying that. When I hear first place someplace else, I'm not sure if he doesn't realize other people are talking about it or the latter. And then Baba says, I don't think Jimmy realizes he doesn't watch these channels. He realizes because he's in. Trust me, he knows exactly who the Convo Couch is. He knows who Slow News Day is, and he knows these things. People DM him, videos all the time and all this content. So he hears this stuff. Like I said, last year, me and Elle actually cornered him off and talked to him about a lot of different COVID stuff, well before he changed his opinion. And so he heard it directly from us. Also, there have been times when Jimmy has hopped into Franco's group chat. I mean, into the live stream when I've been on there live with him. So I know he hears this stuff. Just a matter if he wants to give credit for it. Free thinker, right on, Marcus, exactly. He pisses me off. Slow News Day, Convo Couch, you guys, etc. Way before Jimmy Dore. Then a host, so I have Jimmy Dore derangement syndrome when I point it out. No, it's not Jimmy Dore derangement syndrome. It's Jimmy Dore does not give us credit for any of it. And it's not just me. It's bigger outlets too. I hear Richard Medhurst talk about stuff way before. And then he'll say, I'm the only one talking about it. I'll hear Russell Brand talk about stuff before Jimmy Dore. And Jimmy Dore will say, I'm the only person talking about it. And anybody who's listening, who listens to Jimmy, or if Jimmy hears this, dude, stop fucking doing that. It's mad disrespectful. No, we don't have a problem with giving you credit when you do good work. But stop shitting on us like we're not doing anything.
Well, too, the other part, because it looked like it said some Satan shit, but anyway, going back
pull it back up if you got it. Put it back on the screen because I want to see what that's about. Yeah, read a little bit of it so we can at least know what's going on there.
This is
Here,
like
I'll be right back. Give me a second.
Yeah, this from like 2 weeks ago, June 5th. This is a rogue GI's trial exposes the depths of a murderous far-right ideology and the FBI's complicity in spreading hate. I mean, do we have to read beyond the headline? It says it right here right here. It says right here. And the FBI's complicity. In other words, don't think of it as FBI complicity. Think about it as just the FBI. There's nothing they do. Look, you have to start thinking about these mass shootings, right? You have to start thinking because we don't actually ever hear from the shooter. They tell us he or she wrote a manifesto. How do we know it was actually written by them? We actually don't. They're not going to interview them. I'm not advocating that you make people who shoot people stars by putting a camera in their face. But at some point, you would like to maybe possibly hear like what led you to do that. They don't. Again, I think that's all the the intelligence service is doing what it is they do. Everybody in this crowd knows those programs and everything they use to manipulate people and to make them active when it comes to certain situations. No.
Oh,
Marcus.
we have a special guest. We have Ali of Doom and Gloom headquarters.
Hello.
Hopping in. So glad
Hi.
that you're with us.
Sorry.
And
Ali, what's the deal?
is Doom with you?
No, Doom, she's gonna sit this one out. She almost
Okay, cool.
But no,
Glad to have you. We've been wanting to have you on for some time. So it was nice enough to host us on her show. If you guys have not checked that out, I definitely recommend it. It's a very good video. So, what do you got for us, Ali?
Well, I just want to start. I don't want to start shit, but I want to show you. I just found some weird, and I know that, okay, like, well, yeah, because I already texted you, obviously. It was like, hey, just saying. Because the 6G stuff, they're talking about more later. But I just found some really weird shit on the MPP website. And I'm sure no one here is, like, really a big fan. And I know people don't take it seriously, but then I'm seeing...
In fact, Jimmy in here, he really don't like MPP. So, yeah, we don't care about their feelings.
Yeah, no, wait, did you say Jimmy? What about Jimmy?
Correct, Angelica.
Mana Talk.
Oh, well, okay. And I think, okay, gotcha. And I know that people are saying that, like, I know that Jimmy's, like, talking about running for president now. I don't really know if that's going to be, like, actually a thing, if he runs for president. I can't take it seriously. But I'm playing pretend if I were in MPP. Like, I just think it's weird that they all want to talk about, this and that, like the corruption over here, over there. But then, like, look at the shit that's on their platform site. So I was just taking a gander, just looking, and I saw some really weird, like, transhumanist type of shit on their website. And so I feel like that's a weird thing. Maybe I'm looking into it too much. I don't think I am. But I feel like
well, just the fact that they even referenced that on their website, that should tell you enough, right?
Yeah.
Without even going beyond that.
Yeah. Let me actually pull up something, or I can just put it in the chat because I don't want to mess
Or if you want, you can just share your screen.
Okay, let me do that. Let me just find it really quick. Yeah. And is my mic okay, by the way? I'm like,
yeah, hear you perfectly fine.
You know, Doom and Gloom, we're really unprofessional with this. So.
No, trust me, we've been going off all night. The chat has been lit. I was like, I don't know if it's a full moon or something.
The chat took on a life of its own. Who knows what they do?
Oh yeah, our chat's a little wild. Yeah, you guys got Dubster or Shitster over there, Dumpster,
Debbie.
Fire. But and then you guys got whatchamacallit who acts a little crazy.
Let me see.
Oh, here goes asked, what's that transhumanist?
Let me hear. If you don't mind, I'm sorry. Let me put it in the chat because my shit's gonna mess up if I try to share my screen.
Sure, that's fine. Yeah, put it up there and then I will. I'll put it on the screen.
If you just go to this article I wrote that I just put in the chat, it will show you exactly where I'm talking about. It's interesting because I hear a lot of people, and again, I'm not trying to ruin everyone's party about the third party thing, but I'm sorry, it's not gonna happen.
Well, here, I have to stop you over here. I have already peed on enough people's parades about the third party, so and they already know my feelings on the third party.
Oh yeah, I've heard you. Yeah, I've heard you.
So I think most of my chat knows what's up here.
They know what's up. I just think it's weird, and everyone at first will say like, "Well, you just don't like Jimmy Dore." I mean, I get it. That's why my focus on this, and I did a couple videos about it. It's really not even so much on like Jimbo. I mean, yeah, whatever, he could be president, but it's like that whole thing is a joke anyway. At the very least, it helps his brand. You know what I mean? Even if they just toy with him running for president. I'm not.
Oh yeah.
You know what I'm saying? It's not like I'm not here to be like he could really win. Though I would highly suggest if you want to crack up and like get some comic relief, you could read the letter that Nick Brana wrote about Jimmy becoming president. But yeah, if you scroll down on here, that's like the beginning of the article. Scroll down some more. Keep it going because that's the whole thing, which I don't want to make you guys watch. But if you keep scrolling down a little bit more,
and I'll click on it, and I'll click on it to put it in the chat. That way they can pull it up.
Oh yeah, for sure. Just make clickbait. Yeah, if you keep going down, down. There we go. And I don't know if people will be able to see it.
Let me see. Or I can read the paragraph out.
About the So see this like where the arrows are. Obviously, that's where I'm talking about. It's like
yeah. I'll read that. It says, modern technology is advancing exponentially and raising questions of tremendous consequence. What was once science fiction is becoming science fact. In the next few decades, machine labor will replace human labor on a massive scale. Genetic engineering will allow us to create genetically perfected children. Transportation will be driverless. Radical life extension technologies may give us the ability to end human aging. Ooh. Blockchain will enable direct democracy, interplanetary travel, and mining will become possible. Computers will melt into your surroundings and become ubiquitous. As the Internet of Things matures, we will create fully immersive virtual worlds that feel as real as our own. Neural interfaces will allow us to browse the internet and communicate with our minds. We will be able to digitally back up our consciousness and accelerate our mental processing. Machine intelligence will exceed human intelligence. Wow, you said a lot in there and touched on a lot of things that we were talking about earlier.
Yeah.
It really did.
And that's what's on their site. That's what's on their site. That's on MPP's platform.
Ugh, that's scary.
So I know it's not like, oh, that's, like it's not a sexy topic, but just I think that's for the people, if there are any out there that are part of this or like, yeah, Door, you should ask him about this. Because all I've gotten so far is like on that platform, well, we don't really know who wrote it. Well, okay, but it's your party and you're asking for money. Like it's on your platform, it's on your website.
Yeah.
Well, it's just, you never really get an answer.
Yeah, I see Yona in the building. Hey, Yona. A couple of those points that I want to go back to. Well, I see a couple of chats. Let's make sure. Baba says, "What's Ali's info? Twitter or site?"
It is. So Doom and Gloom. You can just look it up on YouTube. Doom and Gloom.
Yeah, Doom and Gloom headquarters.
Yes.
Or HQ.
Yeah,
sorry.
HQ.
And that is
if you do Doom and Gloom, it brings up who's the artist? Is it?
Yeah, it brings up Rolling Stones.
Yeah. That's right.
But I will pull that up real quick and try to get
Right here, I can put it in the chat. Too.
Yeah, put it in the chat. That way, they'll be able to see your work. Like, there's a lot that they need to be looking at and checking into.
Marcus, this is my most peaceful show.
I wonder what Gene or John is talking about baloney. What does that mean? We literally just talked about 6G, and the guy literally referenced. Let me read back on the article. Some of the stuff they referenced. It talks about modern technology advancing. Did I not just tell you guys about the first driverless? Well, the video that I did a couple of years back about the first driverless truck from Jacksonville, Florida to San Diego, which they're waiting for the computer systems to get online. Once they have the signal to be able to do that so it doesn't have the hiccups it's having, that will become more of a reality. They already have the technology for driverless cars. I don't get what's the baloney part about it. Blockchain and cryptocurrency is something that literally the United States government is working on. I mean, I don't get which part is baloney. That's what I'm trying to understand when people say stuff like that. I get that a lot of people are so into what they believe is going on right now, but it's about what's going on into the future. And I don't know if people know this, that Amazon has a store. In the Amazon store, you walk straight in, anything you put into the basket, it automatically charges it.
Yeah.
And as you walk out of the store, it automatically pays. You don't even go to a register. All of
It's
this stuff is
coming.
coming online.
All
I mean,
that
it's
stuff
not
is here.
hard.
Look, in different parts of the world, they have their different pilot programs. As I've referenced here on this show many times, MasterCard had their wellness pass, right? They were doing that in Western Africa. Which one? I think it was someplace in Seattle or somewhere in the Pacific Northwest. They, several years ago, they've already undergone a trial in which they have chips implanted with them that work with vending machines and the like. So, I mean, basically, they're just marketing it to us now, but the tech is it's there.
The tech is there.
It's ready for at least the the beta round at least.
At least.
And when they I guess is like download our memory. Is that what I heard?
Yeah.
That's a possibility. We're not saying that every single thing that they're going to be able to accomplish it. Some of this stuff, though, they already have it accomplished.
Yeah, for sure.
So, I mean, I don't understand where the disbelief and all this stuff comes from, because let me pull up another video, because one of the 6G ones, which is part of the marketing, which Nokia themselves is telling you what they're going to be able to do with it. And it's like, I don't get why you guys are so resistant to they're telling you what they're going to be able to do.
Yeah, they tell you they're excited about it. I mean, even if you just look up like 6G in China, you can see all the projects going on there. So, which a lot of them you could say is like with Israeli.
It's this one was what, 2 minutes long. I'll replay this one. This says a whole bunch of stuff in it right there. Maybe a little just jumped into it and didn't catch it. I'm gonna keep the article right here, but in case we need to hop right back into it. But this is the one I just showed a second ago.
Ooh, hi, I'm sunburned. Sorry.
I've been out in the sun, huh?
Yeah, my white ass has got sunburned. So.
All right, here we go.
6G will liberate human potential and transform the way we live, the way we work, connecting human world, physical world with digital world. So, and that will unleash.
Hold on, let me stop that.
We are proud to say that Bell Labs has actually.
Now, let me pause that there. Said connecting human worlds with digital worlds. Let me go back to your article, Ali. Because, man, I got a lot of tabs open. You guys have no clue what it looks like over here. It's a little way too much stuff. Is that it? No, that's not the right one. Oh, there it is. Let me see, where was it at? We will create fully immersive virtual worlds that will feel as real as our own. Neural interfaces will allow us to browse the internet and communicate with our minds. That's literally what this guy just talked about. And he works for Nokia.
Yeah.
I'm like, come on, y'all. It's not hard to just follow along to what's being said.
They're literally telling you.
Like everything else, we was here with the last bullshit, right? And all we said is the same thing Ali just said. They're literally telling you.
Yeah.
They literally tell you. But
They tell us everything. It's just, the conspiracy theorists have become the people who listen to what they say, and then we tell you what they said. You're ridiculed for repeating what they said. I mean, it's weird, but that's just the way it is. You can quote verbatim Klaus Schwab and the things he said over at his organization and their get-togethers, and you come back and you tell your coworkers or your friends and shit like, yo, this is what they got going on. Oh no, you're lying.
That's just crazy.
Yeah.
Well,
Like,
what
that's
it
just
is
Klaus.
it's so many people that have been that they watch stuff from the 60s and 70s, and they say, oh, well, by the early 2000s, we're going to have flying cars. And because there's no flying cars, they don't think none of this stuff is going to happen. That's what it is. That's what I honestly believe. 1984, with all the stuff that they were talking about was going to happen in 1984 when George Orwell's book is the stuff we're seeing literally today. Now, okay, he was what, 40 years off, but it's still happening. Here, we'll hop back in and play a little bit more of this, because this guy is literally telling you this is the stuff they're working on, this stuff they've been working on.
We've done many pioneering innovations in the field of communications. The laser was invented here, the cellular network, the transistor, actually the basis of AI was laid here. And this proud history that has led to also Nobel Prizes and Turing Awards. And so we are already preparing for the 6G era. We actually already started with the research on 6G 2 years ago. You want to be 10 years ahead of the game before the commercial deployment. You cannot do this alone. You need the partners. We are now leading the very first flagship project for 6G, HexaX. If you think of what the different generations of networks enable, 2G and 3G unleashed the potential of human mobility and connectivity. 4G unleashed the potential of information and social engagement with social media. 5G unlocked the potential of machines and sensing. And so what will 6G unleash? It will enable perfect knowledge of human world, connecting us with the digital world. 6G will
Hold on, now let me stop
enable
that.
holographic
Perfect knowledge of human worlds. So, you don't think if they have perfect knowledge of human worlds that can also go into perfect knowledge of human memory? I mean, it's not hard for somebody to literally talk about what they've experienced. They record that down and it gets downloaded into a computer system. Things like that aren't hard to do.
People should watch a show on Amazon. It's a really stupid little romantic comedy, but it's about basically, I won't spoil it, but it's about this guy who essentially gets uploaded into, it's like it's an expensive one, like not a metaverse, it's just like a universe where you just like go after you die, where you can be like interact with people after you're dead. Just essentially like your consciousness is supposedly uploaded, which the show's called Upload, into this place. And I think people maybe sometimes like have a hard time comprehending this because they cloak a lot of this in like really fun, like cutesy language. And so if you don't know what you're looking for, you might be like, oh, there's no way they would do that. Or like, it can't be that bad. And it's like, no, it is. It's probably worse than you think.
Well, another thing is, this technology and stuff, it's not thought about how it could be. Now, maybe you might not be able to go back to somebody's earliest memories, but if they start at a person who's 5 years old and they literally have this technology which is interactive and connected with them, it can literally record everything from that point on. It's just like right now. All of your cellular communications, they can literally store a whole file of everything you've ever said on your telephone or near microphones. So, I mean, but here, right there, he's talking about 6G will enable holographic communication.
You can be able to like hold up your hand and like
some shit.
Like put the
remember Black Panther.
Shit, correct. Or like
remember Black Panther? They had the kimono beads, and the beads popped up that screen, and Black Panther was talking to the two of them.
Or like augmented reality type shit.
That's stuff which they literally have and they're working on. We'll just play the last little bit of this, and then I'll let John or Gene just believe whatever they want to.
We need proof. The proof's right there.
There's the proof right there, and it's just like saying, you know what? Hey, there's a tree, and they're like, that's not a tree. Okay, whatever. You can't do nothing with people if that's how their thinking is.
Communication. It will be as if I'm teleported to your environment, like working on the same design, the same object, as if we are in the same room. 6G will enable us to offload mundane tasks from humans, things that machines do better, mental tasks, quality.
Things that machines do better. That means a lot of these warehouse jobs and stuff like that,
gone.
That your job's gone. Yeah. I mean, me and and Chris, we did one not that long ago because everybody only thinks about it being manual labor jobs. Doctors, this is medical field. This is legal field. This is all of these different fields. It's not just going to be, oh, well, they're going to find a machine that's going to get rid of, people on the assembly line. No, it's going to be all of these different careers. Think about it. If they can figure it out,
why not get rid of like the middle management or people who make a significant amount above like minimum wage, right? Why not get rid of them?
Right, cut costs.
Yeah,
I'm half motivated by cut costs.
that's insurance costs. Just all the salary, a lot of shit.
We're expensive, annoying little gnats. They don't, you know what I mean? Like it's just not efficient in this world that they've created. They'll just put everything on to smart contracts and blockchain. You don't need lawyers anymore.
Yep,
it'll be done for you. Sorry, case closed.
You just need the lawyers to like go over the paperwork and to, depending on what side of the transaction they're on, to make it better for one or to make it worse for the other. Just
yeah.
And here is the main motivation right there. Here goes, says it perfectly. Less need for human labor, less need for human labor, less need for humans. That's what I'm saying. The elites have talked about population control and all these things like that. That's the reason why when I would tell people all the time, yeah, you guys can do all these different strikes and stuff like that, but at a certain point, you're already behind the curve because they're working on replacing you as we speak. Baba says it right here. Impacts of ongoing IT revolution upon society: telecommuting, teleshopping, teleentertainment, teletravel, teleeducation, telemedicine, telecommercial, telepolitics, telesocialization. That's what this is all about. If they can get to a point when they don't actually need you. Think about it like this. You don't think the elites, if they could literally have slavery again, that they wouldn't have it? If they could get away with just having you do everything for free, that they wouldn't do it? Well, what do you think having machines do everything basically is equivalent of? It's having free labor. This is what they've always wanted and what they desire and miss. I mean, so I don't get why this is complicated or hard to understand.
I mean, I think I'm assuming it's scary and it sounds so out there, but also it being even just to think about like what I'm more of the camp that like, yes, I think they want a lot of us gone, but they also need our data in order to like keep feeding that into this like world brain project. So like they're just extracting as much data from us as possible, and they will continue to do so even in the metaverse with your digital twin. And like I was talking last time, about can you make like duplicates of that twin, and it's nuts. So all the sensors that they're putting out or they want to put out, all of that is to like tokenize everything from like blades of grass to the air we breathe, and then that goes in with like carbon capture and all of that. Like they want to put, like Seb's talked about, I would highly recommend checking this out on our channel. She did a video about like tokenization of animals. So like the animals need to be part of the economy now too. They've got to pay their fair share. Shit's crazy. So Jean, I just saw that, sorry, she said downloading your memory is not even logical if you understand how the brain works. That's kind of what they're doing though. It's like, I understand that
they're trying. Well, look, the end goal is to like probably transfer your consciousness, right? So you can essentially live forever,
correct,
right? You can, again, the main thing to hold on to is when you have everything, you're not worried about a job or kids or anything like that. The only thing left to do is to play God. That's what they want to do. Playing God, trying to figure out how to stay alive forever is one of the parts of playing God. It just is what it is.
It cracks me up when they say, don't believe everything on YouTube. This isn't just like YouTube, but like these are scientific companies. This isn't just like some crackpot who's just coming up with theories.
You can read their white papers. They will tell you all about it.
These are multi-billion-dollar companies telling you this. You think that they're just making this shit up?
What would be the purpose of that? You know what I mean?
What would be the purpose of just making it up that's what they're working on? You think Nokia is just bullshitting everybody?
Right.
That's what you really believe? Come on. You can't believe that.
And it's global. I mean, I know, like, yes, there's geopolitics, but then, like, above that is an echelon of, group of people or just companies, institutions really at this point, that have been financing all of this. Like, borders don't matter, politics don't matter, so they just keep you, engaged in this game. Like, just for example, as we're seeing, more and more things come up as far as like Russia and China, the United States, the unipolar versus the multipolar. In my opinion, we talk about this a lot. Like, it was kind of always going to be that way because Goldman Sachs has been involved in developing BRICS since 2001. So I feel like sometimes if we get caught up in like this is kind of a side note, but just like the geopolitics game, which I know you guys get this, we miss stuff, and a lot of that includes like these projects, these technology projects that are global in nature that might not be evident, here in the United States, but they test them out all kinds of places, a lot of times in Africa, as you guys know. So I don't know. I get that it's scary, but yeah, I mean, they're not bullshitting. I don't think they would be bullshitting.
Not at all. And it's just gonna get better. It's just gonna become widespread. All you need is somebody like a Kardashian or somebody like that to like.
Well, I
hype it
forgot.
up, and then it's a wrap.
I forgot. We literally said it on the last one when we were talking with Glory, and I said I was gonna bring it up, and I forgot about it. Elon Musk. What do you guys think the neural chip is about? The hell do you think that is? Putting a chip into your brain to do what? I mean,
they'll say I listened to a podcast of him like a couple of years ago because I've really never paid a ton of attention to him until a few years ago, just because it's like But he's talking about the future, and as far as like Neuralink, it's going to be sold as like, well, it can help repair degenerative brain diseases, and it's like it's always dual use like that. Like, sure, but what else? You know what I mean? Like, come on, it's to connect you with all of 5G, 6G, 7G, 8G. It's like you are to become one with this new, I don't even know what to call it, just verse of.
Well, I mean, that's what they literally just talked about having the CEO of Nokia. I don't know if they saw that. But he just talked about how his goal is to have the phone inside of you.
Yeah.
And then Klaus Schwab is like, in the next 10 years when we'll all have all this technology inside of us. I mean, I don't know if you guys have ever paid attention to a lot of these meetings, but the stuff that they talk about becomes reality. And I'm trying to remember, what's his name? Is it Philip K. Dick? He said that he stopped doing a lot of these different movies because the stuff that he would make that's sci-fi, they would all try to make it fucking real. They kept trying to end some of the stuff they were doing.
Yeah. So, I mean, but again, I know like the channel's called Doom and Gloom, but
yes, Frankie Lee, I do speak Spanish also, so I understand. You guys can go ahead and try to have your conversations. Think I won't understand. Go for it.
No speak Spanish.
No habla español. Lo siento. Not much, at least. Not much. But yeah, I know. Sorry, just a side note. I'm actually glad you tied in what I just came on to, like with the MPP thing. With that, because that's exactly what they're talking about. So I just think it's concerning that that's just like chilling on there. And if everyone's boy is about to run for president, even though it's probably just a way to increase the brand, which is fine. Do you? It's really not about him. I think that if it's on your platform, you should be prepared to answer questions about it. I'm sorry, I had to work that in there again because I was just like, hold the fuck up. Did they just write about like genetically perfected children? That's a bit eugenics like, eh?
Yep. And here goes, says it perfectly. I feel like watching the old WEF vids now. Exactly. Because there's stuff that I've literally watched them talk about 15 years ago, which I've seen become realities.
And that's just one little part.
And you can't take what these people say and just be like, oh, well, that's all it's going to be used for. Yeah, they're only going to use it for people who have strokes to try to help them. Okay, sure.
You just have to think about the track record. Like, what? I mean, if you've been lied to so many times, even though, again, they do tell you up front, maybe if you know what you're looking for, they'll tell you, but at the same time, if people, like, that you've known, like, let's say just in the media, or, like, the Kardashian, once they make something popular, like, okay. Why would they be telling you the truth about it? Like, as far as, like, the other side of it?
Mm-hmm.
See what it is? It is, frankly, I get what you're trying to make peace, but what it is if other people are out here and you have people who are telling them all this stuff is nonsense, don't pay attention to it, ignore it or whatever, it stops you from being prepared for when this stuff is being implemented on you or in your life.
Mm-hmm.
That's dangerous. What you should be is, like for instance, why do they train drills, right? Fire drills, tornado drills, all these in case of an emergency. If you sit there and tell everybody, you don't have to worry about anything, don't worry about that, don't worry about this, don't worry about that, then when the shit is sitting in your front door, it's too late to worry about it then.
Yeah.
And we're literally talking about organizations and groups of people who show that they have no credibility. And we're saying, don't fear them. Don't fear anything they're saying. Not at all.
Wait, John, what's your criticism? Sorry, now I'm engaging with the chat. I'm very curious. What
Yeah, well, we always get engaged with the
Actually,
chat.
yeah, you do, so it's fine.
Because that's how we keep the conversation going. And,
Yeah.
and also, I tell Fuzz all the time, anybody can just get on and just put out information and just talk. But when your doctrine or anything you're trying to teach is tested, you need to be able to cite your proof text or reasons why you believe that it's a substantiated claim. Because if you can't back up what you're saying at all, then everything you're talking about falls apart. There is legitimate reasoning to question any of this stuff. It's complete legitimacy.
Why wouldn't you want to question it?
So let's bring up more of what they're saying, because I noticed that they commented, well, Elon Musk hasn't created anything yet. Are you sure? Are you sure?
What are
Are you
talking about?
sure?
He's welfare
Exactly.
queen in the world, also. Just
I'm like, are you sure that Elon Musk isn't creating anything?
What do you?
So are they trying to say that Elon Musk just has a name, that he's not the creator? Is that what they're trying to get at?
Well, they're saying like that the Neuralink chip. Oh, he hasn't created nothing. I didn't remember Elon Musk allowing anybody to walk in and see the development level of where he's at on any of that stuff.
And even if he is just the face of the brand is busy at work. Just saying, all the brands. Starlink, they've done all the contracts they have with the United States government, not to mention who knows where else. I know there's more, but Elon Musk is most certainly, at least, again, I'm not saying he's the one like in the factory making shit, but he's I wouldn't agree with that statement. I think he's created a lot.
Exactly. Yeah, they just want to help us.
Totally. I don't know. Lately, I'm just like, you can't say that. Some people just don't care. And I get it, like a lot of information, it can be really scary for people, I think. They don't want to believe it, but can't say people didn't try to tell you.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, let's put up a little bit more of this because I got a little bit more of it. It was a little bit more left. What screen do I need? Oh, this one. You guys forgot I had it there, didn't you? Uh-huh. Sneaky.
Good job.
Mm-hmm. Good job.
Underestimate my sneakiness.
Checks to really unleash things that humans are best at. Solving creative problems, strategic thinking.
Wait a minute, whoa. What did that say? Strategic thinking? So if it's working on strategic thinking, we'll just keep going.
Oh, it's nothing, yeah.
Terahertz. We can not only do communication, but also use it as a sensing capability. And do things that, for instance, cameras cannot do. See things around the corner. If you think of the billions of devices that are going to be connected, the 6G network needs to bring reliable services, high performance, do it in a sustainable way, and then also in a secure way. We always like to anticipate future human needs, understand the real hard problems and solving them in creative and disruptive ways. Our ambitions come with real game-changing innovations that define the future of communications.
Again, I've said it before, Marcus, if this was purely just about simplifying education, moving technology along to the next logical phase, that would be okay. but everything they have with these things is so like sinister. You know, it makes you hesitate. Like I'm a guy, I like tech. I'm with it. You know, like I said, I don't have my wallet. I'm able to use my phone. You know what I'm saying? And I'm still able to take money out and purchase things at the store. The tech is okay. It's just what it ends up being used for.
Oh, can I respond to something? I don't know if he's talking to me, Yipper, but if you are, I'm just in case. I know that on the website, MPP's platform, they talk about it being distributed equitably. That's a buzzword. Equity, that's a buzzword. And democratically, another buzzword. Sorry to push back, but read through that site for real. So when everyone's boy, tries to run on that platform, there's some serious questions. Because how can you be fighting against the man when the language that's in your platform is all about exactly what the man is doing? Sorry I keep bringing that up, but I just was like really freaked out by what I wrote. But yeah, I just wanted to point that out. That's all.
Elon Musk hasn't been born yet.
Okay.
I love my chat. Oh, you guys are fucking hilarious. Elon did still tell Slut exactly. He is not nobody's saying that he's intelligent, Angelica.
Yeah,
definitely not.
It's the face of the brand.
Yeah, just the face of the brand, and it's no different than
Who's
what's his
Miss
name?
Angelica? Miss Angelica PG. What's the PG stand for?
Well,
parental guidance.
I was thinking point guard.
I don't really want to congratulate anyone though, honestly.
Well, what I'm saying is even Bill Gates isn't intelligent. He's not doing any of this stuff. But Bill Gates is still, the face of many organizations.
Yeah, they are the face, therefore they can, be held, I would say accountable. Yeah, accountable. If you're the face of the brand, you should at least be able to, discuss it. But not, I mean, that's the thing with a lot of these guys, they're happy to discuss it. Elon, Gates, all of them. They give so many talks. All of these guys, they're happy to talk about all of this shit. That's why I like to listen to a lot of the venture capitalist types, because they are really excited about the things they're working on. So you don't even have to go watch Klaus Schwab talk about it. You can just go to the source. They'll talk about it all for days. All these venture capitalists on their podcasts that they have with other venture capitalists, they talk all about it because they want to only see it in a good way. That's what I like to do. I just like to go to the source, just take their own words.
Yeah, just listen to them. And then you see them putting the stuff in the application many other times. I think this is the one I was looking for, Ali.
Oh, good. Okay.
Oh shit! Let me back it up.
Yeah, my bad. Excellent. Yeah, they got the views.
That's why it's halfway in the middle, because I was watching this one.
No, that's. Just getting phone.
You know what, for the pervs, they're gonna love that. That's the sad part, because they could just beat their meat in the same hand that they looking at their freaking avatar with.
Yeah,
That shit is nuts.
Well, that gets rid of the 3D goggles and all that, and that's what I was talking about with the Philip K. Dick stuff. He was like, every time I come up with some stuff, think about this Minority Report. Remember how they used to bring the stuff up on the screen and do all that? The same thing that you saw in the Matrix movie. A lot of this technology that they I wonder if we could come up with that. They start doing it eventually. And I mean, so. And another thing, somebody has said in there, the whole world will be gone in 30 years by climate change. Climate scientists, that's not what they say. They say that you will see different things start happening. You will see droughts. You will see maybe flooding in certain areas. They don't say the whole world is going to be gone. So
they can engineer shit, right, in certain places to.
Exactly. Also, all they would have to do, honestly, is stop doing some things for a couple of years and stuff would change. Also, if you had a massive drop in population, that would change things. So the thinking about, well, climate change and no.
Yeah.
But here, I'll play a little bit more.
It's that elevator music. Be right back, Marcus.
It's to subdue you. If
Exactly.
they play that elevator music, it keeps you from being stressed out and scared about it.
Like, yeah, all of this is, it's happening.
This music is too much. This freaking rave music, gosh, it's killing me.
Very Finnish.
Yeah, of course, they do like this shit.
Yes, they do. I had my days.
Well, you do live in Chicago, of course. That is the scene there.
Yeah, for sure. This lady. Welcome.
Here it goes, says early 2000 techno. Yeah, yeah, it definitely is.
Yeah.
Gosh.
That sounds about right.
Personalized services.
We go to the club, they start playing their techno shit. You know you gotta leave like right away.
Context-aware buildings. So I feel like I need to narrate some of this. It's horrifying. The lover's best friend. It's all in blockchain.
I'm sorry, I forgot. Let me check over to Rockfin. I haven't been over there in a minute. I'm sorry, everybody in Rockfin. Gattaca meets the Matrix. Exactly. It's like trust me, if anybody is acknowledging terrifying possible realities, is this panel here. Trust me, there's a lot more shit going on that you need to worry about, you know. And if we believe that climate change was what's the biggest fear out there, we would be with it. It's not about denying reality. In fact, who even says in 30 years climate change is going to destroy the earth? Please show me that source.
I feel like I've been told that for the last 30 years of my life.
Yeah, they've been saying that for God knows how long. And they always push the damn dates back.
Yeah.
But keep listening to Al Gore.
Yes, I just thought of Al Gore. That shitty movie, man. Programmable augmented materials. That's not good either. Radio eugenics.
Like most other things that are no good for you, they're gonna have the public begging for it. That's the unfortunate part.
Well, the thing about it is, as long as they... Oh, no, go ahead, Chris.
Those of us in the minority who are really looking at this and seeing what the implications are, should we to continue to go down this route. Like, it's cool to be able to open your hand and you got everything, you know, on top of your hand. It's invisible. Your friends can see, okay, fine. I get the cool factor. Wow, that shit is dope. It is fly. I can't lie. That's some fly shit. But beyond that, it's going to fuck with you. It's going,
exactly.
You're giving control of this to them.
Yeah, that's not, it's just not natural. You think of all that shit, just like all the waves and all that shit just to make that happen. What's in the
streets?
Hell no, I'm good on that.
Yeah, have a good night. Good night, streets. Yeah, we're gonna probably wrap up sometime soon. We're almost done. But like, yeah, here goes says it right. Climate change is a multiplier, they say. makes crisis worse. It does not say the end of the world is coming. I'm like, that's not even being consistent with what the scientists are saying.
Yeah.
It just says that the climate will change in areas. It doesn't say 30 years, the whole world's just going to
Right. They wouldn't be investing this much money in things. Well, I guess it wouldn't matter if everyone's dead. It wouldn't matter. But
don't you know we're heading into a mini ice age by 2030? Yeah. You realize the amount of money they have and studying this stuff. If they saw immediate threats, for one, they would just obliterate half the population and be done with it. Because then you wouldn't have the emissions going. Who's saying that that's not possible either?
The Intergovernmental Panel on Climate Change. I'm sure that, that's a real thing. I mean, they have panels on this stuff all the time. But you also have to hear it in their language and then be able to understand what they mean when they say words that sound good. So maybe at that panel, or not even good words, but there's like phrases that you learn.
Actually, I got a question. I got a question for Gene or John. Do you believe that third parties, that there's a possibility that the third parties can actually make a difference and change the trajectory of the election? Or that they can actually get in and take power and turn everything around? I'm curious if you believe that some third party, whether it's DSA, Green Party, MPP, really curious if you believe that they can actually, if we just get everybody together and they just vote for the right person, then they could just turn everything around.
We just got to get a good guy in there. I'm so sad. Because it's like
really
it's selling
curious.
a lie. It's selling a lie to people.
Yeah, I'm really curious.
I'm curious as well.
Because like I like to ask people questions and see where their doctrine is. Oh, wait, can you just answer the question? For me, it does have a connection.
There is a connection.
For me, it definitely has a connection. That's almost like when somebody, I was watching that one thing with Matt Walsh, and the guy was asking questions to this professor, and it's like, well, why do you want to know that answer? Well, you're being mighty defensive. Just answer the question.
Yeah, just answer the question. It's a problem.
Exactly.
But I found.
Yeah, because I'm pretty sure all of us are curious.
I mean, I know I'm smiling.
No, it's kind of like one of those things where the reason why I'm wanting to know, because it'll tell me a lot about your worldview and what you believe is possible and not possible. I only voted green so far, but I think I don't think anything will ever change. Humans are too stupid to change anything in the U.S. You all have given up. Well, here's the thing. It's not about if we've given up or not in the U.S. It's about knowing the corruption of the system. If the system is already completely corrupted and has always been corrupted, how are you going to change that? The two parties literally make the laws on who's getting in there. Every single election, they change laws to keep third parties from even having a chance. Yeah. When there is somebody, one or two people from a third party who get in there, what happens is because they have no party power, they get marginalized off into a corner somewhere and get nothing done. And even if they do try to get any of their bills passed, what happens? They get shut out. It doesn't get brought to the floor. So it's not about however we try to vote or do this or do that. We understand the system.
It's not designed that way. It's designed to operate exactly as it is operating. It's the illusion of having some kind of say in it, in my opinion, based on what I've seen. I mean, from the founding of the country, the Constitution itself, all of it. It's not, I mean, I don't want to say it's a fraud outright, but it is. And it's just an idea that we have a say in what happens in electing people. And like, that's the thing. That's what keeps you invested in this shit. And so when even the third party shit, the reason I think I get a little like testy about it is because it legitimizes all of it.
Yeah.
Even if it's a third party, you're legitimizing it.
Let me see. There was something.
Gene, John, you're all spectators, not activists. Sims and I were just talking about this.
Oh shit.
I'm not. No.
Here's
you're
the
correct.
thing.
I am not an activist. I am not.
Here's
an
the thing.
activist.
I've been an activist, and I saw what it got. Not a fucking
Nada.
thing. That's why I'm not an activist, because I'm not. You're living in another country, for one. You're living in a country which is small enough where you can change things. I mean, we're literally talking about the hegemony of the entire world, who literally has Europe basically as vassal states.
I kind of disagree with you.
Oh,
They work together, but sorry to cut you off. I just
No. They literally. Well, think about it like this: if Europe wasn't vassal states, and Germany, Italy, Denmark, Finland, all these countries are struggling so much with all the sanctions that are put on because they get a lot of their oil and stuff from Russia, then why would they go along with it since it's hurting them so much?
Well,
Because they're being told to.
Maybe yes, in that sense. I guess I just mean more of like within business interests.
Yeah,
certainly.
like
I think it's all the
all spectators. I was out there for Black Lives Matter before it turned into this corrupt organization it is. I was out there with Occupy Wall Street, part of Occupy Jacksonville. I was one of the main people as part of Smoke Free KC, getting smoking out of buildings. I'd done my time as an activist, and what I noticed is on a very, very small level, you can get some stuff done.
Yeah.
But this isn't Costa Rica. You're not. Goodness.
Well, my question would be.
I also live in LA.
Is that
Do you know?
litmus test?
I also live in LA. What the hell are you getting changed in LA? Not a damn thing.
But why do you have to be an activist to have anything to change anything? Like in that realm, I actually do really want to know this. Like, if you're not an activist, you can't speak on stuff, or if you're not an activist, you can't like comment or have a, like maybe a perspective. That's what I don't understand with that kind of line, because that's not the first time someone said that to me.
Well, I've literally watched millions of people go out and push and do all these things, and literally I've watched throughout my whole entire lifetime it amount to nothing. But you're thinking that what it is, you guys just aren't activizing hard enough. That was really what you believe? Come on.
Well, we also did a show last weekend about like the anti-Davos, which you never hear about, the World Social Forum. They've kind of died out, which we'll talk about tomorrow on our show.
Mm-hmm.
But realize that a lot of the opposition, like protests anyways, like they were co-opted from the start. They're the chosen opposition. So a lot of the activists, like I hear... Like, you get out there, it's like, do you not realize that you're actually part of the controlled opposition, bro? Just saying.
Yeah.
So while you're sitting there high and mighty, maybe not you, Gene, but you know what I mean? Like, if you're sitting there high and mighty, being like, I'm an activist, like, what have you done? It's like, right on, you're part of something that's, designed to do just what you're doing.
Yeah, there were a lot of people who were activists for Black Lives Matter. What did it change?
Nada.
Nothing, not a damn thing.
Not a damn thing. So what are you talking about? That's another thing. Yona brought up there. Perfect one there. Vanguard and BlackRock own fucking everything, and they're not American enterprises. It is global cartel running the West. National governments are for show deep states running the worldwide. If we literally studied this stuff all the way up to the highest level, seeing who owns what, when you realize that this is a power and money game, and we don't have the power nor the money, how do you suppose to fight this? But sure.
Yeah, like, okay. I just...
Sure, whatever.
I'm not, but why does it have to be about giving
waste
up?
your time. Go waste your time thinking you can do something.
I don't know. It's like kind of like high and mighty attitude. I just don't get. You can. It doesn't mean you have to give up on everything. I don't look to politics and such for like my source of happiness or like my source of like, oh, it's all gonna be okay. In fact, I feel that placing your faith in that actually leads you to feel this like emptiness. You know what I mean? So you might see it as giving up and rolling over, but I don't agree.
Yeah, I mean, the thing about it is I've literally watched every single policy I've tried to work for on every level get nowhere. Wow. I've watched literally every generation before me get nothing done in the damn black community. Nothing.
Yo, you see her last comment?
What? Why waste your time doing? That's kind of taking it out of context, though, honestly. But okay, but Gene, for real, like you should look up the World Social Forum and then look up all of the different protests and activist movements that have come from that. When it's literally was established as to be the anti-Davos, to capture real people's feelings and kind of consolidate them into one movement that's gonna still nudge, like of something that's gonna happen. It's gonna nudge it anyway. It just might not be the way you think. They have to do that. So much of it's coordinated. I don't even want to say co-opted because it started off that way. Black Lives Matter, you said, yeah, that's been co-opted, but I mean, what changed? Like, for real, what changed?
What changed? It went all around the world. Black Lives Matter. What changed? Not a damn thing.
You're not black if you vote for me.
We literally had, and then I can go into another thing. I've literally watched as activists after activists, people before me, my whole life, I watched my communities completely get decimated. And then gentrification comes in and buys them up, and they're getting spread to the winds. I've watched the black wealth gap continuously increase and increase and increase and increase and increase. What do you suppose can get done to change any of that? I get it. You want to believe in Santa Claus. Fine. You believe in Santa Claus. Don't shit on other people who've been out there trying and have seen what's going on in this country.
And don't use it as like a litmus test, like for people that maybe aren't doing your kind of activism, because also if you're around, I don't know, like if you haven't seen shit change your whole life, what's going to make you want to get out in the street and like get behind this cause?
I'm a communist. I'm involved. That's your country. This is not your country, though. You can say, well, I'm an American citizen, but you ain't over here. Get over here. Get over here and try to do something. Then get over here and try to do something.
I'm so sorry. I'm sorry. And I'm not black, obviously, but
Black Lives Matter.
Then difference all around the world. You should look up the
even
Even
RBN, which you listen to, will tell you Black Lives Matter didn't do shit. I don't know what kind of crack you're smoking over there, but we're gonna go on to the next subject.
It did do something. She was able to buy her family a house.
Yes.
Pay her husband a 6-figure salary. So they were able to do a lot of stuff. Just not the stuff we thought you were gonna do.
I feel like, Jean, like to say, like, and I don't even know if she's talking to me, but I have to say, like, it's not triggered. It's more when you say something like, well, I'm an activist, it kind of comes off as super dismissive. It's not really trying to be hostile. It just comes off as dismissive. Like, oh, well, your point doesn't really matter because you're not an activist.
It's being cognizant of what's happened in my community over the 41 years of my life. All it's done is go a negative direction. And no matter who has been doing what, nothing has been changing that. But what you believe is if I just get out there and I march around the street and scream with a sign more, that's going to change something.
I mean, come to the south side, come to the west side,
Where is it?
and say that Black Lives Matter changed the entire thing.
Oh, hold on. I got somebody at my door. Hold on.
Okay, yeah, and I'm going to bring up this last story. I'm telling you, I lived this existence as a black male. I'm telling you that Black Lives Matter didn't do shit. We literally have how many black males that were killed right after that? Didn't Ahmaud Arbery happen right after that?
Was it? Oh yeah, when it first, yeah.
Didn't you? I mean, and there was a couple of other ones that happened right after that.
Yeah,
well,
prominent ones. Think of all the names you don't hear about.
So what are you talking about?
Think about the names you don't hear about.
It's just insulting when I have somebody who's sitting in another country trying to tell me what we need to do over here.
Shared on Facebook more than 50,000 times. And now the Kansas Livestock Association says what happened is devastating. KSCowsDie Eli Higgins joins us now in the studio. And Eli, this is obviously horrible. So what happened?
Yeah, Kitty. Well, cattle die from weather around this time every year. We're told any one of last weekend's weather events wouldn't have been a problem. It was the combination of several things at once.
Shocking videos like this spread like wildfire Wednesday, claiming a heat wave killed these cattle in southwest Kansas. And headlines like this claimed more than 10,000 head died. It left many people wondering if it's even real.
I have seen some of the videos around, and it's certainly not something that you ever want to see or something that you ever want to deal with.
Turns out it is real. Scarlett Higgins with the Kansas Livestock Association says while she doesn't have exact numbers, thousands of cattle did die from heat stress across an area near Ulysses. She says there was a sharp temperature increase in a short amount of time. On top of a
So
humidity
all of them
increase
died all
and
at the
little
same
to no
time?
wind.
If you add all of those things together in such a short amount of time, it led to cattle suffering from some heat stress in that area of the state.
Kansas farmer Greg Peterson saw the video and says it could happen. He posted this on Facebook.
Those heat bursts are very localized. They are not widespread. And so that would explain why it didn't hit all over the place.
Hagen says while heat stress kills some livestock every year, a loss like this is devastating, both financially and emotionally.
It's a significant impact, of course. These cattle would have a value of around $2,000 per head, as they're market-ready animals. And any kind of animal loss is significant to a producer, to a cattle feeder, to a rancher. Anyway, no one wants to see any kind of loss like this.
Now, Hagen says there are some federal disaster programs that would come into play for something like this that those ranchers will likely take advantage of to help recoup some of that loss. But no matter what, she says they'll be feeling this for a long time. In studio, Eli Higgins, Cake News, on your side.
Yeah, but that's what's going on. Did we ever say that climate change wasn't real? We just said that we don't believe everybody's going to be dead in 30 years.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I didn't
Be
say
more
anything
attention and listen. And Thomas, please tell me if I'm just a defeatist, please tell me how things have been getting better. Are white people just able to still roam onto Native American lands and rape women and go off, and the Native powers can go after them and pursue them? Has that changed? No, it hasn't. It's about being realistic with what the hell is going on in reality. It ain't about being a defeatist. It's about seeing reality. Now, you can sit and play in delusion land. That's fine. If that's better for people to not accept reality of what's going on, then that's fine. I get it. Some people, it's hard for them to accept reality, but that's what it is.
I feel like not actually having more information, this just could be me, is actually like the best weapon you can have, because if you're informed, not to like the condescending, like informed, but the more information you have, I feel like you're better off. You know what I mean? Maybe I'm just crazy and I want to run into the burning building, but I feel like the more that you know, the better that you can fight. So I don't understand when people kind of repel against information that maybe doesn't go along with what they've already known. That just doesn't make sense to me.
Say it all the time.
Yeah, I mean, and Gene says you said we were having a new ice age, and the scientists have been telling us that for years. I didn't say that. I read a comment. Pay attention.
Yeah, it's like you gotta be careful to remember. You might feel something when you hear somebody say something, but
tell cousin Mike that's the
and tell Mike I'd love to see. Well, actually, I got some math for him that I want him to have an answer for, because I'm sure he'll probably be in there. Tell me how long it takes for a person to walk 6,000 miles.
Oh.
I want an answer to that. That's what I want to answer to. How long does it take a person to walk 6,000 miles? So when he has an answer for that, I'd love to hear it. But yeah, that climate change itself isn't a hoax. How they talk about it, Dems use it to fearmonger for votes. That's what Here Goes says. So on that note, yeah, we're almost at the 3-hour mark. We've been going for about 4 hours strong.
Oh, wow.
So yeah, on that note, we are going to end it. It's been fun for my people who are with Common Sense and Reality. I'll let those other ones live in their dream world. 6,000 to what? Just figure out how long it takes for somebody to walk 6,000 miles. That's what I want to know.
Mm-hmm.
You give me the answer to how long it takes to walk 6,000 miles, and then I'll give you the other part of that riddle there.
Oh, good. Jane will come back.
Is it, Marcus, just out of curiosity, is it possible to be a realist and a pessimist at the same time? Well, possibly.
Yeah.
possibly believe that.
Also,
So,
I have to add this in. What is, I mean, pessimist might be something different
Well-
to everybody too. And same with realist.
well, I don't. I look at it as I'm just looking at the facts which I'm being given. That's all. I'm not trying to determine what it is for you or this person or that person. I'm just looking at facts. If somebody tells me that I need to fight 15 men who are wearing brass knuckles, would it be a defeatist? Would it be being a defeatist or pessimist to believe that I don't have good odds in that fight? I mean, that's what I'm saying.
Yeah.
It's just about what makes sense and what doesn't make sense.
$2,400.
If I literally know that not too long ago, in the early 1900s, one man by himself, his own wealth had enough to prop up the whole nation's debt. And I know that there's families full of men who could have done that all at the same time, whose money never went away, and where I can literally see the ties to all of their money still. I'll give you one of them just for instance. Look at the Reynolds family. Most of the tobacco products which you know in this country, most of the aluminum, and that's compressed aluminum and Reynolds Wrap, and a good chunk of the marijuana industry is all owned by one family. And that's just giving you one of them. There's so much more information, but I'm just a negative person. I'm just a person.
Join the club. Join the club. That's what Subs and I
it's
named our
all
channel for.
Yeah. My goal is for people to see reality for what it is instead of, I mean, if it's easier for people to just have hope, to just have it, whether it makes sense, it's fine. I see Indy snuck in the building. Hey, Indy. But yeah, this has been the Political Matrix. I'm your host, Young Morpheus, here with my good buddy, my brother, my right alongside Lawson, and here, gratiated with our presence, Ali, also known as Gloom from Doom and Gloom headquarters. Make sure to please go over there.
Ali, thank you. Much appreciated.
Thank you, Ali, for joining us. It was such a pleasure.
Thank you.
And for those who are at the end of this and you guys don't know yet, we do have a Rockfin channel now. So we're going to have some exclusive stuff that we're only going to have over there. So you're going to need to subscribe for that also, not just this channel. Please make sure you get those likes in there also. And then tomorrow, if you guys are interested in seeing it, I have an interview. I will have Dr. Guguletu Hughes out of South Africa. He'll be back joining. I'll have Malik Duperé, and I'll have out of West Africa by way of London, and an Alphabet out of Somalia by way of London, both on there to talk about the crisis which is going on in London and many things which are going on throughout the continent of Africa. So that said, hopefully, guys, hopefully it was at least entertaining, even if you don't agree with me. But you guys all have a good night. I do mean that, even if we disagree on things. I don't wish any of you all any ill will. I don't know. Prop is really on my fucking nerves, but that's a whole nother battle. Y'all have a good night.
Down. I'm sorry, you gotta keep me off camera.
Thanks. He left us. I guess that's me and you, Ali. Well, thank you guys for showing up. I appreciate it. Oh, hold on.
What happened? Oh man.
Let me first. I hit the wrong button. I'm sorry.
Yeah, I know. I was like, okay.
No, hit the wrong button. It's like that one time where when I came in, I had a little bit too much to drink, and I hit the wrong button leaving.
Oh yeah.
Here we go. We're gonna end it on that note. Get a little laugh at the end. That's fun.
All right, guys. Have a good one. Thank y'all.